to Knucklehead Comics Tuesday. It's fucking Tuesday. We got Lay in the building. We got Cap in the building. Cabs can't make it tonight, but he's here in spirit on Lay.
My man, just chilling, brother, chilling.
What's up, Cap? How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Is that and the father goes shamefully? That's my son. And the other guy goes shamefully. Orion goes, that's my father. Choose fear and hate to run your life. Something you can't do. That was wrong with me from the beginning. I was doing it that way. I was gonna go down that path. I worried.
You thought it was Grayson?
Sorry, got hurt. It's like not him. Not him.
Crack his brain for somebody, anybody that can help, and remembers. Freeze.
The media.
No,
Randall
Savage.
You're Randall Savage. With his knowledge and all other shit and his capacity to learn.
Absolutely.
This is the only vegan I'll ever eat is grilled chicken wings, because that's like vegan to me. You know what I'm saying? Because the chicken wings are supposed to be fried, but you grill the chicken wings, you put it in some sauce, and give it some blue cheese.
Is vegan.
That's vegan. Like regular moo cow fuck milk, put it in some Honey Nut Cheerios, vegan, because Honey Nut Cheerios good for your heart. You know what I'm saying? Can I steal the question from Cabs?
I got it right.
I would also like to steal. I would also like to steal. I would also like to steal.
You're too late.
Wow.
I stay loose, I stay hype, I stay loose, I stay hype, I stay loose, I stay hype. I could do this all night, cause I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, sip is right, and I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow. Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. Yeah, they know I'm a pro. Let's go, let's go! Yeah! Let's go! Here I go, I get lit, I get hyped for this shit! Right.
Word. He be like, I got a left elbow and a right elbow. I can break your face with any elbow. Make sure that you get elbowed in your elbow with an elbow. Got the arm bar, get the phone ball, get around with the bomb with the bomb ball.
Daddy's gonna take you to Jersey Shore.
Yo, it's fucking Tuesday night, and you know what that means? It is Knucklehead Comics in the fucking building. We've been talking about Marvel for the past 25 years. And with the release of Blue Beetle, no review. We haven't seen it yet, so fuck y'all.
I was about to say, wait, I didn't watch this movie.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either. But with the release of Blue Beetle and them talking about the box office numbers for that, it came up with the discussion: has DC set up their fucking movies to fail? But before all that, we got Cap in the building. We got Ray in the building. Cabs can't be here, so instantly me and Cap are already gonna start fighting.
Fuck you, man.
yo, Cabs, you left me to this shit, man. Now I got to be the one in between these two. Ah, shit. Here we go.
That's it.
Now, I'm gonna make a concerted effort not to get into any arguments.
I'm fighting.
We're gonna bring up no multiverse talk. None of this. That's it. We're going positive.
That's it. Fuck the Flash.
No argument for us there. Just
Flash was great, goddamn.
How dare you?
What's going on, Tyson?
Yo, I don't know why you guys hate the Flash so much, man. When the titties popped out, wait, are we talking about the same Flash?
Nope.
I wish you was talking about that Flash.
I think we could all agree on that Flash. This last one, nah, no dice.
Yeah, that one wasn't it.
Well, yeah, you aren't gonna watch it, right? Just to not add to the.
Maybe on HBO. I don't know. I'm about to watch that shit on bootleg, so that way somebody else get money.
I'll tell you right now. I saw the scene where he saved the babies.
Okay.
And as I'm watching it, I'm progressively getting more and more befuddled by what the fuck I'm watching. I'm like, yo, who thought this was good?
Yeah.
My man, I need to save babies, but first, let me take a selfie and just go get a fucking burrito
Yeah.
because
Also
I don't have
use
to.
the microwave somehow. Like it still works somewhat. And then let me put a baby in a hot microwave.
With nuclear fucking reactors and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you know they nuke it. They make the joke of the nuking of the shit, but they nuke the motherfucker.
If I'm not mistaken, he ate half of that burrito and gained full health, and then threw the other half.
Oh yeah, because he had already eaten candy too. So that was just like at that point, he only needed half a burrito apparently.
So
How big was this fucking burrito?
Just one of the ones you get in the fuck
where,
the ones you
where
nuke
did
in the
it come out of-
microwave. The fucking
Where
like
did
dollar
that
store
burrito
ones.
come from?
Fucking Tayaki.
I think one of the vending machines had burritos.
Right.
Because it was a hospital. So it's one of
Other
those you
weird
just
shit.
nuke. You just nuke in there.
Just nuking fucking burritos. Fuck it.
Yeah. But let's see.
We'll get into this whole thing because I'm gonna try my best to keep this shit on DC and DC this whole episode.
Well,
We have
that
a tendency
technically is DC. Is just
but
not
I'm just saying overall we have a tendency of this much show about DC, that much about DC, and then the rest of the show.
Yeah, and then we always throw in some other TV shows that we have problems with.
Yeah.
Fucking cabs.
Well, to not deter too much, I'm already gonna do it, but fuck it.
Word.
Twisted Metal was great. I finally saw it all. I binged the whole shit. I need a season 2.
Yo, I can't wait to see how the fuck they do Axel.
That's gonna be wild. That's gonna be wild.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, but that was great. Anthony Mackie was great in it. Samoa Joe's physical acting was great. It was a good show. I got no complaints.
You see how now when I yell, all you need is people to actually think of some shit that makes sense for these shows. I'm not asking for a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not asking for fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson to come in here and make this shit fucking down to the fucking atom correct. I'm just saying, make something that makes sense, that has continuity and all that other shit. Don't just throw shit at a dartboard and say, all right, purple, bananas, and everybody's raping each other. Let's make the mailbox 2. What?
That sounds like Game of Thrones to me.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
But no,
down they actually made like, yo, how can we make this work? Someone
but here's my question though. And it might be difficult to answer because I have an example here, but would you have felt the same way had you have never played a Twisted Metal game?
Yeah.
Because I have to believe that some of it, at least for me, some of it was, okay, I already know the world and I already know the general rules in which this property plays by.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I think it would work that way because half the shit that happened, I don't remember in the games. Like, it was so long ago I played Twisted Metal, I don't remember all the shit that happened in that fucking game.
I was gonna say, I feel like no one that really played it like that is gonna remember all the Twisted Metal either.
No, but what I'm saying is, when you see Needles, you know what the significance of him is. You know why he has the mask. You know why the hair flame was.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't need to know every detail, but when they say a character name, you at least know, okay, I know why they're referencing. You might not know the character, but you're like, all right, I know why they're putting this character, and it's got to be something from, you have some base knowledge. So here's my example of why I asked that question. The Ahsoka series is dropping right now as we speak.
Yeah.
Because Disney fucking hates us and decided to do the shit, premiere it right when we're doing this.
Raises.
But so there's a couple of people who got advanced screenings or advanced viewings of it just so they can review it. And one dude that I watched saw it, but he never saw Clone Wars and he never saw Rebels. So he was saying that the show. He was saying that from his standpoint, the show looked good,
Okay.
but he doesn't know if he's gonna continuously watch it week to week as it comes out, or just wait for the whole thing to come out. Because to him, he doesn't. When they show the character, he doesn't know who that character is or why that character should be there.
Okay. So he doesn't have the connection to it. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't.
Hence
Okay.
why I put up. Would you still feel the same way at Twisted Metal if we had never played it? Because to think of, if you think about the scene where Needles is like, oh well, let me put the thing in my hair, light my hair on fire. To somebody who doesn't know the imagery, that I could see people be like, yo, this show's stupid.
Yeah.
He's just gonna burn himself and nothing happens, and
He's a psychopath.
Yeah.
yeah,
But-
but see, that's another thing. We know him, so we get to see him from a certain standpoint where we could just follow along with him, and we know he's supposed to be a bad guy, but much like any slasher flick, at a certain point you start rooting for the slasher. So at a certain point you can start rooting for Needles, because you're like, well, fuck it, everybody in this world is fucked up, so we can start rooting for him. But
Yeah.
if you don't have that base knowledge, it might skew a little differently.
Yeah.
I mean,
That definitely, I feel like, is going to be the outlook for most people that are just watching this because they're like, "Oh, it looks interesting. Let me just watch it."
yeah, because what's the HBO, The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Like, I never played the game, but watching it seemed cool, and then hearing what they did with the game and the TV show made it even more interesting. It's like The Last of Us, but kicked up like maybe 50%, because we did have some ridiculous shit in there, but the whole show was based off of ridiculousness.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
so what do you, not playing the game and not knowing any of the story, where would you put The Last of Us? Like, where would you rate that?
One of the better shows I've seen in a long time.
All right, but what number from 1 to 10?
Give it about an 8.
All right. Is there a world where you could conceivably have put it higher had you known the intricacies and you were able to point out why certain shit was important, why certain things should have meant more to you?
Kind of, but
Because
I personally don't remember games like that.
the point I'm trying to make is, for somebody who doesn't know, an IP, watching a movie or a television show about it, an 8 seems high. But for somebody who does know, an 8 doesn't seem as high.
Yeah. Because I played the game and I still would have given it an 8. Just for
What would
no,
you get?
No, I would have given it an 8. Just
Oh.
even in playing the game. So it's like that's a decent score for the show itself.
Because it's not like Resident Evil. Resident Evil is just, we're gonna take everything you know about the game, even if you never played it, and just fucking make fun of it.
Yeah. At least
Well,
these two, though,
I mean-
these two IPs, at least they tried to give you
Yeah.
the close to the games.
Yeah. The main difference is The Last of Us is about two characters and their story and their personal connection.
Yeah.
That's a lot easier to adapt than we're in a fictional world with zombies. Because Resident Evil is a lot broader of a concept.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just food for thought.
Yeah.
I know we had the thing about, is it too much content coming out now? So says it's not enough. Where, again, I can see people who are not versed in the consumption of this shit. It might seem like a lot because if I walk up to show and was like, "Hey, you want to read Captain America?" and take him to a comic book shop, where do I start him? What run? Which writer? Or if he likes Batman, there's 15 Batman books. Which one do I give him? Like, to us, it's like, oh, I read all of them. But to him, like, he can't read all of them at once.
Yeah.
I hear you, but I'm watching Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and Chicago PD all at once. I could watch fucking Loki, WandaVision, and Captain America and the Winter Soldier at once.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's how many shows you sit there and you watch Love and Hip Hop Miami, Love Island, the Bachelor, the Bachelorette, Temptation Island, the Four Tops, fucking Gladys Knight and the Pips on concert. This is in one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all in one day. You sit there and you watch all this shit, and then you say, "There's too many Marvel movies." How, Sway?
But again,
You know the names
your examples
of
don't
all the
interconnect.
women on each of these reality shows. You know Jersey Shore. You know their age. You know Paulie D doing his fist pumps. You know all that shit. But God for fucking bid, you watch Ant-Man.
Yeah, but
Ant-Man
again,
is enough. That we crossed the line. That's too many.
again, Paulie D's fist pumping have nothing to do with Black Ink Crew or Love and Hip Hop San Andreas Fault. Like, you can watch all, because it doesn't matter if you know him and her. Like, they're completely separate entities. It's a little more difficult when you have to then draw connections between the shit.
Yeah. Because it's like, even at that point, you don't have to watch every reality show. They don't connect. Like, you're good. With this, you kind of have to at least have a sense of all of them, which means you're going to have to watch at least a majority.
They're all building up to the fucking reality TV show, The Revengers. Fucking Chris Helmsworth is gonna host it.
It's still gonna be Paulie D just fist pumping.
Yeah, just fist pumping in the back. He's gonna be like in Mad Max. He's gonna be a guy in the car just fist fucking pumping.
As long as Taika Waititi's directing, all right.
That motherfucker, son. Good vibes. DC. You talking about DC? That motherfucker should have directed DC.
We went 18 minutes. Now let's get back to the subject.
Well, I mean, the first hour we normally get everything out.
Yeah.
Like before we jump in, we've all seen the trailer to Rebel Moon.
Yep.
So for anybody who doesn't know yet, the trailer to Rebel Moon, that's Zack Snyder's epic, what do they call it, space opera. It's coming out on Netflix December 22nd, part 1, and then I think they said April 19th.
Yeah.
2024 is part 2. There's also going to be a third part, supposedly a video game and a graphic novel to go along with it.
They don't even fucking wait no more. Remember how they used to go, we're going to drop part 1. And everybody loved part 1. Let's do part 2. And everybody loved part 2. Let's do a video game. This one, I got an idea. Beautiful. We can make it into 17 parts. Throw a video game in that motherfucker. And when we waste all the money, we'll cancel everything when people don't like the first one. It's like Doom.
Well, I think part 1 and 2, they filmed back to back.
No, yeah. I hear you, but like Doom, that was supposed to be some mega crazy shit. And I'm like, I'm falling asleep.
But now here's the thing. Because we don't know the books. I know the books a little bit. I've seen the original a little bit. To you, who didn't know anything, it's boring as hell. I have yet to see a bad review for Dune. Everybody who's read the books and saw the other film loved that movie. They can't wait for part 2 to come out.
Because they're idiots. That's why, dumb marks. Because they're fucking idiots. Nothing this man can do. I don't know what movie has he done outside of the fucking DCEU. What movie has he done outside of Hero?
Zack Snyder?
Yeah.
Sucker Punch. He did 300. He did Watchmen, which is technically a DC, but it wasn't part of that whole DC
Yeah.
shit.
Sucker Punch was which one?
Sucker Punch was
With the
one
women, right?
with the girls who were like in an insane asylum, and you couldn't tell if what they were doing was real or in their head or.
Okay. So basically, he hasn't done any movies worth mentioning until the DCU.
Wait, you didn't like 300?
Okay, he had one movie.
I was gonna say, come on, how do you not like 300?
He had one movie, and then they did part 2, which was stupid. He had one movie.
Part 2, I don't think it was him, but
But
makes no sense.
he had one movie, and now all of a sudden everybody fucking loves him. My man goes, "We're
he
gonna
did
do
Dawn
the
of the
DC."
Dead, the Dawn of the Dead remake.
So he had one movie, and he's like, "We're gonna do the DCU," and Kevin Feige goes, "Marvel, what is your profession?" And then, he goes, "Clearly, I have more fucking Marvel fucking superhero movies than you do." My man bring farmers and pitchforks. I don't know why they love him. Maybe because he got a fucking thing to play the Flash. He got a fucking object to play the Flash or some shit. But he's pissing me off with it. Him and Michael Wakachiki need to get the fuck out of this planet. Go to the fucking Virgin Mobile plane, go in outer space, and go put your shit in Pluto or something.
Okay, I can give an actual answer to this.
That's
Please.
real shit.
Please,
Certain people do like his aesthetic style, but the whole Snyderverse thing is because in the middle of filming the Justice League, he had a very heavy personal tragedy, and he never got to finish his version of the movie. Then Joss Whedon came in and did what he did, reshot a bunch of shit, and it is what it is, right? The Justice League cut, it is what it is. But then we found out that Zack Snyder actually finished the majority of his own cut. So people rallying behind him in the wake of his personal tragedy and wanting to see his vision completed after just seeing the bastardized version we got behind him. Well, let him finish it. Let him put it out there. And the whole reason why everybody wants the Snyderverse back is because, well, would you rather a ship with a direction or a ship that's just spinning in the fucking ocean? He at least had a fucking vision of what he was doing. The movies, good, bad, or indifferent, at least they were cohesion. There was cohesion between all of it, which we're about to discuss. There doesn't seem to be cohesion anymore, and we're gonna see where the fuck all this shit leads him.
Yeah, but I personally hate his cinematography or the way that he makes these movies look. I hate those. I hate the fucking 300 look of a movie.
I was gonna say, you don't want dark? You
No.
don't like dark?
I don't like dark and fake. I don't like you got New York City. You down at 42nd Street and you trying to make that shit look like it's fucking a different universe. Like this is Pluto Nash. Nigga, we see it say 42nd Street right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that shit because to me it takes me out of the whole fantasy realm. Or like it's too blatant of a fantasy shit. Like, I would rather watch something like Sin City where it's like, okay, we adopted a fucking comic book and we're just gonna make it live action comic book. All right, that's cool. It's not my cup of tea, but I could bear it. This shit is like, oh, we're gonna bring you into the world of the Flash. That's not the Flash. That's not the tempo of the Flash. That's not the feel of the Flash. Superman ain't this fucking Darth Vader looking motherfucker. Like, none of the people felt like they were these people. Even Batman in the fucking Justice League. That didn't feel like Batman. That felt like Punisher. Wonder Woman was supposed to be hating men and wanting to be a warrior and fight everybody and all that other bullshit. She's the mom of the group. Like, what happened here? Did we not? You don't even need to read the comics. They make fantastic cartoons. You can get the information from there. The Flash in the TV show has more Flash in him than the fucking movies Flash. The Superman in the Lois and Clark shit has more Superman in him than the fucking Superman they portrayed outside of the beginning part of fucking Man of Steel. I don't like the look of it. I don't like the feel of it. Shit.
It's a little funny that you bring up Sin City, because they took the whole look and feel of the comics, but it was inspired by the fact that Zack Snyder did that same thing with 300.
Yeah, you see what he said. 300 worked because it was different, but it's time you can't. It's for its time. You can't make every movie that. Then
yeah, you could definitely tell when it was his style, like, which is sometimes a good thing, sometimes it's not. But to me, I feel like what made the Snyderverse work was just it was at least a direction instead of, well, we're gonna try to make these movies and see if you like it.
To be honest with you, and I didn't know he had a tragedy or whatever. I honestly think the only reason why the Snyderverse worked is because the movies came out and they sucked, and people were like, "Wait a minute, there's another version, and it's supposed to be better. Let's see that one. Let's see that one."
I mean, that is part of it. If Joss Whedon would have been able to deliver to DC what he did for the first Avenger movie, nobody would have cared about a Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Joss Whedon would have had to fucking direct that shit from the beginning.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is.
My man said, "Yo, I gotta go. Finish cooking this steak. What'd you put on it? Sugar. What? Where's your seasoning? Ain't got none. Here's some duck sauce." Hey, this ain't gonna be good. This ain't gonna be good.
Good luck.
Yeah. I got sous vide ones in the oven.
Well, that's kind of what we're gonna go into later on with the DC as a whole, because that's kind of the same way they're in right now. It's like, hey, well, here you go.
Yeah, I mean,
let's jump into it then.
Yeah, let's get into it. All right. So the question is, did DC set up their movies to fail? And I'm talking about the movies that happened after they announced James Gunn's gonna come into DC and reboot everything, but also the way they marketed and set up all the other movies. I have the box office numbers, and right now Blue Beetle is the second worst opening. Right, like Wonder Woman 1984 is the first worst.
Okay.
We have to put a small caveat for that, because that was in the middle of COVID and a day and date release between theater and HBO Max.
Yeah.
So realistically, this is the worst.
The worst.
If we're gonna just go by actual, you can't go see this in theaters now.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm hearing that this movie's good. I have no vibes of this movie being bad from the commercials. I had a vibe of The Flash being bad from the commercials, Batman vs Superman being bad, Justice League. The only ones I didn't have vibes of it being bad was Wonder Woman, the first one, and this one, and Blue Beetle.
What about the Suicide Squad, the second one?
That one was released in COVID also. That one was in my head, it was like, oh, you can't get any worse. So let's see what they fucking got. That was a surprise.
Yeah.
So, what up, Carr? The answer, yes, they did, but Blue Beetle suffered from the strike and lack of promotion. True. But all right, let's set it up. We're gonna start off with James Gunn.
Okay.
Did the announcement of James Gunn rebooting the DCEU and essentially making Aquaman 2, The Flash, Blue Beetle, what was the other movie that came out before all this shit?
Black Adam.
Black Adam, Shazam 2. Did it make it basically there's no need for these movies to watch. You think that is something that they did?
Yes, inadvertently.
Especially the Flash. It was just like, oh, what's the point of, like, why are we gonna watch this?
Yeah, I mean, because they tried to be like, well, there's a possibility that the Flash can reboot everything and James Gunn could go off of that. There's 27 different endings.
Yeah, but you're still just it makes no sense to watch because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so we'll just see where it starts instead of how this is all gonna end.
Yeah.
What does it matter at this point? But again, I don't think they, like Cap said, I don't think they did it on purpose. They were just trying to, hey, we do have a light at the end of the tunnel right now. Like, we aren't gonna go into just, we have no direction with DC at this point.
You know what I think? The official reboot in their minds, not what James Gunn is gonna do and everything. I think the official reboot was Black Adam. They were banking on Black Adam being big so that they can pivot away from Henry Cavill. Like, all right, we don't have Henry Cavill, but we got The Rock. You know, The Rock did his stupid ass thing with trying to bring Cavill back, but let's put that. We have The Rock. Then you build on Shazam. So now we got The Rock, Shazam. Blue Beetle would have been good. Flash was supposed to be good. And give a list of wins and a cushion for James Gunn to come in here and
it needed that momentum. It needed something to at least, like, okay, and now here we go. So even if unfortunately he fails, it's a bumpy road at the start. There's something to build off instead of just negative now having to build up. Which that's the position, unfortunately, James Gunn is in. He's legit in a hey. So here's the keys to the house, but the house is on fire right now. Good luck. Like, legit, that's his situation. Well, hey, yo, shout out to KJ Mack in the chat.
Yeah, when I opened it up, I saw his. I was like, oh shit, there goes KJ Mack. What's going on, bro? Yo, not for nothing. Fuck it. Let's let you play James Todd. I don't know about if you could hide your accent, but you know what? Fuck it. We need a James Todd with an accent. Gives him an edge. Yeah, but not for. I kind of agree with Leon. Like, they did have the perfect people to play their stars. Like, Henry Cavill is perfect for Superman, in my opinion. Fucking Gal Gadot is looking like the perfect Wonder Woman, unless they would have got Gina Carano. But Gina Carano can't act like Gal Gadot. You know what I'm saying? Plus, Gal Gadot has that, I don't want to say foreigner, but she has that non-Americanness in her with the accent and all the other shit. Like, she seems like she's from another world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and be from Themyscira.
Yeah, and Ben Affleck, that's my Batman. Like, when they said Ben Affleck Batman, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Then I saw him. I was like, wait a minute. This is a Batman I can believe in from the game, the comics. He was the cartoon. He was a big dude. He wasn't no skinny fucking dude. You know, and you see him there. It's like, okay, this is a rough motherfucker. The only problem is he had guns and he's running people over and he had no ethics.
I think though the problem is if James Gunn's gonna do his own thing, and his plan is 5 years from out, it starts 10 years from out, we're in the thick of it, then you can't have these people who have already been playing them for so long. Like, Henry Cavill's not going to stick around for 50 years to play fucking Superman.
True. But all right,
like,
so
you got to have your own.
This is the question I got. Now, whether these movies were done or not, they obviously have the money. If you're DC, or who makes DC? Universal?
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. You're Warner Brothers. And you go, yo, we need a new direction for DC because we're losing money. Everything we're doing is a flop. Let's get James Gunn. James Gunn is going to start a new thing. But we already have these movies coming out. We can't cancel them.
Unless it's Batwoman.
Yeah, unless there's a woman involved, we can't cancel them. Wouldn't you guys say, fuck it, James Gunn, how would you adapt these movies into your universe? Or how would you adapt these movies to fit so that way it's not a waste of our money to just put it out there?
That should have been the conversation, especially knowing that, hey, we still have these slated. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that should have been the conversation. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is what happened in that fucking boardroom. We're gonna get James Gunn to redo our whole shit. All right, but we have these movies that we made. What are we gonna do with them? Well, fuck it. They're good movies. We can use the money. Put them out. It doesn't matter if they tie in or not. It's The Rock. People are gonna go see it. It's an established character in Shazam. People are gonna go see it. I'm hearing good things about The Flash. All the test screenings saying this is the best movie we've ever made. What do you call it? Blue Beetle. We could take the hit on Blue Beetle because we got 3 surefire hits. And then they ran into something that we've discussed before that they didn't anticipate. I think this is the true superhero fatigue. When you tell somebody, hey, this movie doesn't tie into anything, and it's probably going to be on HBO Max in about 2 months, well, now you compound the I don't have to go see it because it's not going to tie into things, and people are tired of, like, yo, we've said it before, it's too fucking much.
yeah.
So good, I get to take a break. I'll wait for this shit to come out. And then by the time it comes out on HBO Max or Max, people hear the bad reviews, people hear all the other shit, and then people are like, well, who cares? This isn't part of the new shit. But I guarantee you, sitting in the boardroom, they were just like, yo, we made the money, we made the movies. People are going to go see them because that's what people do. They all go see comic book movies. So let's go make some of our money back.
You see, but this is where in that boardroom someone needs to go, well, wait a minute. People didn't like Batman vs. Superman. People didn't like the Justice League. People didn't like Shazam. Why don't we take this time now to use some of James Gunn's insight where it's like, yo, what do you think about this? How would you fit this into your thing? Or how would you end this universe? Because in all honesty, this would have been the perfect segue to go, okay, Black Adam, Shazam, Flash, Blue Beetle. If you wanted Blue Beetle to start the James Gunn thing, the James Gunn saga, let James Gunn get his hands on it, put some things in there to establish a new universe. Have the Flash end this universe. Because that's what Flashpoint is supposed to be. Flashpoint has always been the soft reboot. Because even though he put everything back together again, shit changes. You know what I'm saying? So I think what he should have did was like, yo, okay, so now we're going to actually have the tie shit in. Black Adam comes in, instead of for Henry Cavill, Shazam. Shazam 2, he goes in, he learns how to be a man, and you're thinking Shazam versus Black Adam because now this dude is now grasps all the power of Shazam, the knowledge of this guy, all that other shit. He grasps all of it. So he's able to level up and fight Black Adam. Then we throw in Wonder Woman because she's in Shazam. You put Wonder Woman in Black Adam because she's the one that's tying everything together. And you have Flash go back in time, and you can even have it where there's only 2 superheroes or 3 superheroes: Batman, Green Lantern, and Shazam. There is no Superman. Black Adam is beating the shit out of Shazam and Green Lantern. Flash ain't got his powers yet. And Batman's like, yo, what do you mean? Thomas Wayne is like, what do you mean there's an alien that's stronger than these fucking people somewhere? Thomas Wayne is going to release Superman. And then he goes and fights fucking Black Adam. And the Flash gets his powers back, and he's like, yo, I'd set the world to destroy itself with the powers of Shazam, Black Adam, and Superman. This world can't withstand all 3 of these mega powers fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? And then you can have him like, yo, I gotta go back. I gotta reset everything. I just fucked everything up.
Yeah.
And then he goes to reset everything, and he changes. He and all that other shit happens.
Dude, that would have been perfect. Problem is, where you said, "Oh, Batman v Superman failed, Justice League failed, all that shit failed." The old guard of Warner Brothers said, "Oh, but everybody wants the Snyderverse. These things are connected to the Snyderverse. Put them out." Then David Zaslav came in, and he's the one who's like, "Well, we got to get James Gunn in here. Give James Gunn the keys. Push him forward." But the Flash and everything else was already made.
Yeah.
So, in order to, even though your ideas would have been probably better to do, that would have pushed Shazam back another 5 years, another 3 years to reshoot. Black Adam, another 2 years. The Flash, another fucking 4 years to remake. And now, not only are you pushing all those movies back, but The Rock had his plan of what he wanted to do. So now you're telling The Rock, nah, you can't do your plan. Does he stick around? Does he pull out of the movie? Does that shit fall to shambles? Andy Muschietti had his idea for the movie he wanted to tell. Now you're telling him, no, you can't do your idea. We got to switch this up and bring in another guy who's going to add an input. That would be what, the fourth director The Flash lost? Like, if that would have been the plan from the beginning, your plan makes sense. But they were too far in the weeds to stop. That's why it kind of doesn't make sense that they got rid of Batwoman when they had it. They could have just dumped it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Legit, with how the rest of these failed, I don't get why pushing it back couldn't have been an option.
Well,
because not one of them have been of actual box office success.
So the Flash was already delayed because of COVID, because of Ezra, because of all that shit. Pushing it any further back, and it would. I mean, it already is one of the worst performing DC movies ever, if not the worst.
Yeah.
Because by the time it came out, all that hype was just puff.
Yeah.
Because think about it, if the movie would have came out when it was supposed to, it would have been in the height of the Snyderverse movement, and Ezra had been charged with anything yet. So nobody would have been boycotting that movie or not going to see it because of him. So more people would have been inclined to go see it. Then Snyderverse, everybody's clamoring for. We get imagery that makes it look like it's part of the Snyderverse. The what do you call it? The screen testing, everybody's saying this shit is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That would have opened, if COVID never happened, that would have opened at probably one of the biggest movies DC's ever done. Keep the movie the exact same. It would have opened bigger. But it didn't, because it was pushed back. Ezra did his thing. The Snyderverse chants have died down. Because I don't care what anybody says. Zack Snyder put his 86-day version of the Justice League out on HBO Max. And I saw it. Is it better than the one we got in the theater? Yeah. But that's like saying, hey, is your 2-hour movie that couldn't tell all your story worse than the 6-hour epic that got to tell every inch of the story you want? Like, that movie didn't turn the zeitgeist the way it thinks, the way DC would have hoped.
Yeah.
Nobody really cares about that shit now.
And now it doesn't even matter at this point. So it's like, it was good for what it was, but it's like, okay, and now what?
Yeah.
And now we're here. And now we're at a point where legit, again, all this was just done and it was a waste of money. Like I said, it's like giving James Gunn the keys, like, here you go. House is burning. Yeah, we have no insurance. Good luck.
And I think another thing that's hurting is the, to use wrestling terminology, is the death of kayfabe. We know too much behind the scenes shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know how much influence The Rock thought he was gonna have, and we can apply that to how much detriment it had to the fucking film. Like if we don't know if we don't know how the gumbo's made, we could just we could just taste it. Or is the better way to put it. If we don't know how the gumbo's made, we have to taste it to see if it's good or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna tell me what you're gonna put in the gumbo, instantaneously I'd be like, I'm not eating that shit. And now I don't have to taste it. It could be the best thing in the world,
But
now I don't
want
have
it,
to
'cause
do
now
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus with them spreading the rumors about James Gunn and The Rock and all that, people are gonna pick sides
Yeah.
because now it's like
The biggest thing should have been, don't tell us about James Gunn. Don't allow that to be done till his things are in motion. Because when is his first movie actually coming out?
2025, I think. Superman Legacy or whatever.
So imagine we're still close to 2 years away, and all this was still in motion because we still got Aquaman. Like,
yeah,
all this is
Yeah.
there. This should have been the instant. Hey, start working on this. We'll release when we're gonna release.
But somebody brought up in the comments too. Another big part is the lack of the ability to promote. So there was no writer strike with The Flash. It's just you literally could not have your star promote the movie because they were problematic. But then you get to Blue Beetle, and Xylo Marijuana doesn't get to fucking go out there and show himself and show his personality. George Lopez don't get to go out there and talk shit about getting people to see it. And
yeah,
like you can't build hype. It's not like a video game. Like video games build hype without anybody going on a talk show to talk about it, because it's something you get to experience, you get to play. So watching is just like, yo, I can't wait to get in there and do that. It don't work like that for a movie. You need to have somebody tell you why you have to go see this, especially in a field where as we're discussing, if you don't say anything, I don't really need to go see this movie.
Yeah.
So all right, so the next question is, outside of them announcing James Gunn, is the order of these movies in which they came out a detriment to how they succeeded? Because you had Man of Steel, and then you had Justice League. I mean, you had Batman vs Superman, and then Justice League. Like, do you think that they turned around and said, we're gonna first round haymakers, and then lost steam and said, all right, let's backtrack and start throwing the jab in there with Wonder Woman and Shazam and all this?
Well, it's because they wanted to compete with the MCU. Legit. They were like, we got to throw out our biggest guns first so there's interest. But then they forget, okay, you're going to do that. And then as Marvel's learning now we're going to expect it needs to match quality every time. Or it needs to be the big guns every time. You can't go back. You have to go forward with it.
True. I honestly think they could have started with Batman versus Superman. But the idea of Batman versus Superman you could start with. The movie that they portrayed, no, because it was basically a sequel to Superman. Batman vs Superman was a sequel 20 years after after Man of Steel. That's how I felt. Where Batman vs Superman should have been a conjointed origin story. We should have seen Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne grow up in their respected Gotham and Metropolis. This should have been a 3.5-hour movie. You see them grow up. You see them go through what they're going through. One becomes Batman. One becomes Superman. And then you go, like, they don't know each other. But then there's that one time something happens and they both have to meet and they go, who the fuck is that? Or Batman goes, there's a threat in Metropolis and I gotta go stop, because that's exactly what it is. Like, yo, this is a fucking alien. I gotta go stop this motherfucker to protect these people. Or you have Superman. I'm the righteous guy. I'm the one that's for justice. Batman is not doing justice. He's a vigilante. I'm gonna go. Someone has to stop this man. He's gotten out of control.
Yeah.
And you go fight each other, and then they're fighting each other, and a greater threat happens, or the fucking Marvin Manhunter, John Jones, comes in and goes, nah, you guys can't. You guys are both the same person, just a different ends of the spectrum. Like, he's the reasoning behind why you guys need to work together. Someone needs to be that glue. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they would have introduced people that way, and then had that been the point where Wonder Woman comes in after Batman vs Superman, Green Lantern comes in after Batman vs Superman, Shazam comes in after. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the two first heroes, and now we got other ones.
Yeah.
Again, what you're pitching is way better than what we got. But from a boardroom perspective, somebody sat down in Warner Brothers boardroom and went, Marvel had to make a deal and pull Spider-Man out of their ass because Captain America was not a big hero. Iron Man was not a big name. War Machine definitely wasn't a fucking big name. Hawkeye, all the Avengers were bullshit. They put them in, now this is what they're saying. They put them in a book together to sell because individually they couldn't do shit. We have Superman, one or two highest grossing comic book character in the world. Batman, one or two highest grossing comic book characters in the world. Wonder Woman, one of the highest grossing comic book characters in the world. We have three of probably the top 5 characters right now.
Yeah.
Why the fuck? We're good. All we got to do is put them in the movie.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that's what they were thinking.
Which, when you think about that, that is insane that you think hero status, they should be winning.
Yo,
Yeah.
I've said it. Batman vs Superman is what's going to kill the MCU.
Oh, man.
And they effectively
Killed
took the pin out of the grenade and never threw it
No, they threw
and
the
blew
pin.
themselves up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
no,
blew
they
themselves up.
said, and threw it at themselves. Because that is, they had it. They have the formula. They have it. And just said, we don't need all this.
Because think about it. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Spider-Man. Those got to be the top fucking 5 fucking comic book names.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone back in the day, everyone for Halloween, who were they? Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, or the Flash. I didn't see too many Captain Americas until Captain America movie came out.
Yeah.
Like, there's some, but I didn't see too many. Superman and Batman, the top 2 heroes. Shazam, Captain Marvel, Shazam. He was one of the top heroes at his time, like in the 50s and shit like that. I'm talking about when we grew up. But
Yeah.
Spider-Man was the guy.
Yeah.
And the X-Men because of the cartoon. But Marvel can't have the X-Men
Yeah.
because Fox had the X-Men. So you have where Survivor Series. It's Spider-Man versus 4 people.
Basically.
And you walked out. In my opinion, DC's storylines are way more empowering or entertaining and interesting than Marvel. They had the formula where it was the actors' egos. It could be, I mean, the Hulk. You know what? That's another thing. With those superheroes, they went too big. Like, Wonder Woman's first bad guy was Ares, the god of war. Superman's first bad guy was Zod, another Superman. They destroyed half the planet in that one. Ares basically was trying to take over everything. And then they went into the Justice League movie. And then they got the right-hand man to Doomsday. I mean, to Darkseid. And it's like, okay, now Darkseid has to come. But from what I remember, Darkseid's the reason why the Justice League got together. But then when the Marvel came and said, oh, we got Darkseid too, we just call him Thanos. And Thanos gave his right-hand man, Loki, the power to fight the Avengers. And they did that right. They didn't show it took 4,000 gods, 72 aliens, and fucking 27,000 fucking metahumans to beat this guy, Mega Wolf. What's Steppenwolf. But now all of a sudden, we got a dead Superman, a Batman, and Wonder Woman. They're gonna beat Doomsday and Steppenwolf. Back to back. It's like, all right, wait a minute. This is unbelievable. This should have been a Superman movie, the way they made it. They didn't do nothing. It was uneventful.
Yeah.
They got a mega box, and there was no purpose for it. Everything they did was sloppy. That's why when I saw the coming attraction for it, I was sitting there going, wow. There is no gravitas. There's nothing that's making my heart pump. But when you see the fucking glint, you see a gif of Captain America grabbing the Moliere, Avengers, assemble. Goosebumps. You know what I'm saying? It's like that, Batman vs. Superman should have been way harder. That should have opened up the door for Darkseid.
Yeah.
Because wasn't Darkseid looking for another right hand? What was the purpose of Dark? He wanted this rule shit.
He wanted to find the anti-life equation, which is hidden on Earth.
So that could have opened up the door because Batman and Superman could have made noise, and Darkseid could have been like, "Wait, what planet is this? This is one we haven't discovered yet, or we haven't looked at yet." Or one of the scientists in there going, "We found it," and then he opens up the door, and guess who else is in space? Green Lantern, John Jones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. They rushed in without developing shit.
Like,
so this is what I was able to find.
yeah.
This is the most up-to-date shit that I've found. If anybody finds anything, please. This is from 2022. But the most up-to-date shit, best-selling comic book characters, Superman, Batman, automatically 1 and 2, then Spider-Man, then X-Men with the recent movies and the recent things that they've actually did to rehab the X-Men in the comics, and then Captain America with his booming popularity coming out off of the MCU. But it's specifically the what do you call it? The whole shit that they did with Sam being Cap and John Walker being U.S. agent and all that shit. But still, even though it looks like 3 Marvel to 2 DC, the top 2 are still Batman and Superman.
Yeah. And from the beginning of time to the end of time, Batman, Superman.
That's why I could see that they're thinking that. I think that's another reason why they didn't think they had to develop as much. Is because if you go to anywhere in the world and say Batman and Superman, everybody knows them. It's gonna be harder to find people who don't know Batman and Superman. Where if you would have walked into Timbuktu and be like, who's Captain America? Who's Iron Man? Who's Hawkeye? They don't know. They're not gonna know.
Yeah.
So you needed to develop these characters more. Dude, there's a section of the world that if you say Thor, they go, oh yeah, the Norse god. who does this and who looks like this, and you're like, no, I'm not talking about the Norris guy. I'm talking about the comic book character. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm assuming that that's why they just decided to jump in. With their problem, their major problem is when you were talking about the release order. You released Batman v Superman around the same time as Civil War. Well, Civil War had a whole build-up,
Yeah.
and their story made sense, and it brought in all the characters that you wanted to see again, and snuck in another Avengers movie without it having to be an Avengers movie, while somehow still maintaining it's Captain America's movie.
Yeah.
Like, don't get it twisted. The other Avengers are in it, but it's Cap's movie.
Yeah.
And you ran up against the wrong thing because you sped to that. And how can you not compare two heroes? Both movies had two heroes on opposing sides of an argument, fight each other, then wind up. One of them winds up teaming up in order to prevent Doomsday. But the other one actually goes the mile of doing what it should done and goes, oh no, this is the breakup. They're not going to come together.
Yeah.
It's way more intriguing to, well, where do we go here if the Avengers fucking broke up? Versus, well, I guess we go straight into the Justice League now. They killed Doomsday.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the thing, because the MC already had the build. They could do that. DC was like, well, this is how we're starting. Oh, we're just gonna go separate ways now. But wait, you just got to what the fuck?
Yeah. And then the next movie is Wonder Woman, which took place decades before that movie.
Yeah.
And then her sequel happened another few decades before that movie. No one knew who this woman was.
Yeah.
And
I just knew who this was.
Twice she came to America, fought in our war, fought a god, and then fought someone who made a wish the entire world was affected by. No one knew who this was. That's like saying, we're going to make a movie of the greatest minds, and then we're going to introduce everybody to Martin Luther King. But no one's going to know who Martin Luther King is. Motherfucker, that happened before us. It's in the history books. There's no way we can't know Martin Luther King. There's no way we cannot know that this woman or someone did some crazy shit that affected the world. Because everything they do affects the world. You notice Batman is the only superhero that does not fuck with the rest of the world. He fucks with Gotham. So if you don't know what he's doing, that's fine because you don't know nothing about Gotham. But Wonder Woman, this motherfucker made a wish a motherfucker in Timbuktu made. The entire world had to rescind their wish in the second one. Superman fought Zod. Africa and America were getting fucked up at the same time. Because he was terraforming the fucking planet. Batman's chilling in Gotham. But no one knows them two. No one knows Superman and fucking Wonder Woman. What?
Yo, didn't Superman go to Mexico? People were like, help me, Superman.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's... So that's what I'm saying. They're doomed to fail because the way that we see it and the way that Cap's putting it is basically put them in a movie. People buy the tickets.
Dude, Kevin Smith once said, I gotta see if I can find the exact quote, but he once said something to the effect of, just getting to see characters he read his whole life up on the screen in motion was enough. And novelly, the first time you do it, yeah, I can see that. But once you start trying to transform that and try to say that you're telling me a story, all right, well, now the totality of your story has to be good.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it doesn't make. I don't care about just putting them up on the screen. You have to do something with it because you're telling me you're doing something with it.
Yeah.
The fans, that's the one thing. Like with this DCEU, never once. Well, let's not say that because the Snyderverse thing. But before the whole Snyderverse thing, never once did the fans turn around and go, "Hey DC, this is the story. We see what you're doing. This is how we're connecting to that." No, they all went, "You're telling us this is how the dots connect."
Yeah. And
So now you
it's
got to make it fucking good.
yeah, and it's different from going, we're gonna make a Batman movie. Because you make a Batman movie and it's like, all right, we want to see your interpretation of Batman. Who's Batman playing? Who's the villain? What's the story that you're using? All the other stuff. It's good enough you got Batman up there. But you're making Batman versus Superman to make a whole universe. Now, there's rules you have to play by. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's rules. Like, Batman fought Superman. He needs the kryptonite. He needs that suit. But also, Superman ain't no bitch. You know what I'm saying? He holds back, but he ain't somebody that's just gonna let Batman mollywop. Also, Batman doesn't kill people. Why is he using guns, machine guns on his car, and rockets to shoot shit and running people's face over? The whole warehouse scene, I get it. That's forceful shit. But also, he's tactical. Batman's tactical. But you have Wonder Woman in here, who's also a fucking a goddess, who's a fucking Amazon, basically, who fucking fights. She's a warrior princess. There's rules there too. Why is Batman the only one that looks like he can give a fight to Doomsday?
Because that's the thing about Batman. That's why I don't like Batman. It's because he's the only human there. But he has to be the one who wins. Because he can make a plan for anything.
You know, and then you sit there, you got Lex Luthor, who's supposed to be this fucking genius. And when I say genius, I say super genius. You know what I'm saying? Like, my man cured cancer and said, fuck it, put it in a 10-year plan so that way people get rid of it in 10 years so we can make money. While Superman's using a protractor and all the other shit to try to fucking cure cancer, he can't crack it. You know? Like, where are the rules there? Why does Lex Luthor get to go on screen with hair? Never once have I seen him with hair in the comic. Never once have I seen him with hair in the cartoons. Why does this one have hair? Why does it take for him to go to jail for him to shave his fucking head? We don't need that progression.
Well, I guess they were paying homage to when Gene Hackman played Lex Luthor, because Gene Hackman had hair in those movies.
Yeah, and I love that. Pay homage to a movie that had nothing to do with what you're doing. Why not pay homage to the comic that you're getting the fucking story from? Do that first. Let's establish Lex Luthor. Do that first. You could put Gene Hackman's picture up as his father or some shit. That's how you pay homage. You know, everybody wants to do this whole shit of, oh, we got to pay homage to the ones before. The comic books came before anything. You want to tell a story about that? Give us. You can't do that no longer in the MCU. Because the MCU right now has its own lineage. You know what I'm saying? You can't force feed us comic book history when you're introducing new people. Like Namor, you gave us his origin. Everything he did was one little area they went into the sea and they were hiding. So, okay, we can realize he's been there since the dawn of time. He's just been hiding in his people because he's like, I'm not fucking with the daywalkers, the land walkers and shit. I'm not fucking with them. But if you're gonna introduce someone new, like Dr. Doom, you can't tell me he's been studying magic and fucking doing all this shit trying to look for his mom since the 60s. with Reed Richards and Doctor Strange. Because guess what? They ain't have no Reed Richards, and Doctor Strange has no idea who the fuck this guy is.
Well, I mean, I think there's a way you can say he's just been chilling in Latveria, and now he finds this is the weakest point. This is the time to strike. I mean, I don't think you could do it that he's been around since 1950 something. Like you can't make him 80 years old, but
No, but like you can start off with him in that other world that Doctor Strange went to because he did the convergence or whatever the fuck that shit was. But Doctor Doom is still trying to fight the devil to get his mom's soul back. You know, that's how you would introduce both of them. And you can have a backstory like, oh, Doctor Doom went to high school with this fucking guy, but this guy hasn't turned into Mr. Fantastic until now. You know? Like you can throw those little things in there, but the MCU has its own lineage now. It has its own story.
Yeah.
You can take bits and pieces from the comics and adapt it to this one, but you're gonna have to adapt it to this. Where you started off Batman vs. Superman, Justice League. You're giving us Darkseid. You're giving us the Ninja Turtles or the Ralph from the Ninja Turtle to fight Superman in Batman vs. Superman. You gave us General Zod and the fucking guys that fought with Thanos. You know what I'm saying? You gave us all that shit. And then what? All right, let's go back in time and tell you about people before this. No, this should have been the start. Introduce them now. Introduce Wonder Woman now. She could have been a beautiful warrior from her planet, and you could tell stories of how the gods or whoever tried to invade Tatooine, and fucking she defended it and all that other shit. You could do all that. That's fine. Introduce her now. You could talk about John Jones on Mars fighting the white aliens, but he saved the world in 1952 and no one knows this? What is every single person Blue Adam? The fucking Blue Marvel?
well, all right.
Yeah, they left a lot of just little gaps.
I'll
there.
give you one thing. Wonder Woman 84 is a lot harder to defend here because the entire world was affected by this, and I don't remember if everybody was supposed to lose their memory about it. All I remember is that the guy who was possessed didn't realize he was possessed. But again, I'm gonna scream this until Liam Neeson walks into my room and punches me in the face. If you had a wish to bring him back, just bring him back. Why was your wish for him to inhabit somebody else's body?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Wonder Woman 84, I can't defend, but what started World War One, then?
By Hitler? No, it was 2, right?
No, that's World War Two. Don't worry.
No, it was Germany.
Huh?
Was it Germany or
They assassinated the Archduke of Austria.
okay. That was my next guess.
World War One. Now, we just described here, World War One was a pretty big fucking event. It is okay for you to have learned that and just forgot some of the fucking things about it. Because by this time, the effects of World War One have been trounced by what happened in World War II. The bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Nazi rule, the Battle of Normandy, like the landing on the beaches and shit. So it can be feasible for the history of World War One to be known about, but not remembered as much. Because if they're following our similar timeline, World War One happened, then World War II was worse. And apparently Wonder Woman just said, well, fuck it, I've already won one. I don't have to defend my title anymore. I can go home and just wait for a perfect opportunity to do some soul snatching. But So Wonder Woman 1, I could see why nobody would remember her. Now, the second one, I'm lost for. I don't know how that happened and that came and went and nobody knows.
Yeah.
But the only way I can explain that is how old was Batman? Batman was what, in his 50s?
And what, Batman or Superman?
Yeah. Like, how old do you think they were portraying? Because I know Ben Affleck is in his 40s.
So Batman vs Superman takes place in 2015. So Bruce Wayne would be 42 to 46 years old.
Okay.
All right, so it takes place in what year?
2015.
Minus, what did you say, 46?
Yeah.
So he was born in 1969. Which, let's see. So he was 15 years old during the events of Wonder Woman 2. And now, I don't know if we're gonna give him this, but wasn't he training with the what's his name, Ra's al Ghul, and the Hand and shit like that when he was in his teens, in his late teens, early 20s? He was training with the Hand and the Shadow, whatever the fuck. So it's feasible he might have been in an area that wasn't connected to the outer world, because remember, everything went through the satellite.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can explain why he doesn't know. Superman wasn't even here yet. Wasn't even on Earth yet. So maybe that's how we can explain how nobody knows who this bitch is to the characters that we know, Batman and Superman.
Outside of Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah. That's the best I got, but that's me yoga. That's me playing Dasim.
Yeah, you're trying to.
No, yeah. So all right, so we got Batman vs Superman, Wonder Woman, and all right, so we got those two out the way. But now Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, and the Harley Quinn movies don't fit in those three movies. They don't fit in that realm. They talk about them, but they don't fit there. Because the way that Gotham was in Birds of Prey was not the same way Gotham was in Suicide Squad. Not the same way Gotham was in fucking Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
You know? And then you have a god in the middle of of Gotham shooting shit into the sky. That's the one day Batman goes.
They were in Gotham in the end of Suicide Squad, but I get your point.
But that was the one day that Batman and Superman was like, fuck it, I'm taking off. Harley Quinn's down there.
Yeah.
She got this.
The Joker, Suicide Squad, doesn't look like he knew who Batman was.
Oh, they had the whole scene where Batman was on his car.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, that don't look like the Joker.
Yeah.
That don't look like a Joker that would fuck with Batman.
You know what's funny? The director says he now regrets having the Joker with damage tattooed on his forehead. And when I read that, I went, "That's the thing you regret?"
Out of everything,
Yeah.
that's the one part. I saw that too, and I was like,
But let's
Nothing
analyze.
else?
Let's analyze this here. Why do you think the Suicide Squad failed, or Suicide Squad failed?
Because they overpromised and underdelivered. They promised us the bad guy version of the Avengers with Iron Man 1's ending. Because that's what literally happened. The best part of that movie was Harley Quinn, and she was nothing to write home about.
Will Smith wasn't bad.
He wasn't bad, but that was Will Smith. The same way people like, oh, I saw The Rock and not Black Adam. That was Will Smith. That was not Deadshot.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, I can give you that. There was a little that one scene where he's like, "Hey, you're in about 30 seconds. Your man's about to walk in here, and you're never gonna get a chance to kill him again. I don't see my money." That was a little enemy of the state.
Yeah.
I give you that.
Yeah. And then you had the fire god, who's actually a fucking god,
Diablo.
play fake gangster. I'm sorry. There is a way to be a gangster without that over dramatic shit. He played fake gangster.
But I think that's what he is. He is a cholo in the comics.
No. I'm not saying that they made him a cholo. I'm saying he played fake gangster, where it was like too much of the blah blah blah. He didn't have enough for like. In all honesty, this guy did not make me believe he regretted killing his fucking kid and wife at all.
Yeah, there wasn't any. Yeah.
He made me believe more that I'm not gonna be your weapon than I killed my wife and my kid because I can't control this or because of this. So I'm not using this shit no more. I would have believed if they would have took the wife and kid out of it and he would have been like, I'm not your weapon. I'm not nobody's weapon. Believe him. But I didn't see no sad man there.
At least a broken man. I don't think it would have been as sad, but just like he's disturbed after what he did to himself.
Oh, Diablo.
Jeez.
Yo, Taquan, did you come in here because no one's reading your... No, I get the... When did you make a YouTube channel?
Wait, that's usually what he uses when Twitch isn't working. Is Twitch not working?
Yeah, well, no, I saw his post from earlier. Where is it?
Are
Yeah,
we good?
the fucking...
Yo, is he not?
Okay.
Is he not allowed to?
It's
view
weird
us
when
on
he's known.
multiple- Yo, watch us on everything. Watch us on your laptop, on your
Yeah.
TV, on your cell phone.
Word, fuck it.
See,
No, but-
Cap is doing
Like,
the right
share,
thing. He's trying to.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, but then you have this,
Yeah.
right? You have those movies with like Birds of Prey. That was far out there. And Shazam, that seemed like its own universe. Black Adam seemed like a different universe from Shazam. Aquaman, I don't know what the fuck they were doing there.
See, so what you were explaining right now, I think it's the detriment. As the detriment you're talking about is because of the MCU, we're expecting interconnectivity. But DC Comics has never been about one interconnected fucking through line. There literally is like 15 different fucking comic books, Batman comics right now. And you can go and pick up whichever one you want, read whichever one you want. There might be a main line, a main universe one. I couldn't tell you what the fuck it is. I don't think it fucking matters. And to your point, as they're trying to make a main continuity, nothing is gelling, nothing seems like it goes together. And then we get Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, that's got nothing to do with shit. And then Matt Reeves' Batman with Robert Pattinson, that's got nothing to do with shit. And here's the funny thing is, your through line movies that are supposed to connect are missing the mark. But the ones in which you just let people tell a story they want to tell with your characters, bangers. Massive money makers. Everybody loves them. I think the Joker made over $1 billion. And beat Deadpool as the highest grossing rated R comic book movie of all time.
That's because fucking everybody's in love with the fucking Joker.
Yeah, but the point is DC doesn't have an identity. And part of the problem is the fan base is expecting a singular identity. When I think DC thrives better when you don't have a single identity, where you will allow Who's got Christopher Nolan? You got an idea for Batman? Cool. What's your Batman movies? Boom. Each one of them a banger. Matt Reeves, you got an idea for Batman? What's your idea? Bam. That shit's fucking awesome. Gunn, what's your idea for Suicide Squad? Boom. That shit's cool.
You see,
Without having to make them interconnected, we just get movies.
you see, but now you do that. That's cool. Then you bring in the Justice League.
But so the point I'm trying to make is this proves the point exactly here. Fan base wants interconnected.
No, but
because you could do it in my version of things. You could do a Justice League movie. Who's Guillermo del Toro?
You need the dog way.
Not a Guillermo del Toro. Who's the guy who did Mad Max? The director of Mad Max. I'm blanking on the George Miller, right? George Miller had an idea for a dark Justice League movie, Justice League Dark. We could have done his movie.
Yeah.
We could have done a Justice League movie without them interconnecting. But fans expect now an interconnected universe because Marvel did it.
Well, that's what you're telling us, though. You know what I'm saying? Because out of all the Batman movies and all the Superman movies, no one was like, "Where's Batman or where's Superman?" We just enjoyed the Superman movies. But once you tell us, "Yo, we're making our own DCU, we're having our own universe," well, now the universe implies they coexist with each other.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. DC pivoted because the fans wanted it. Not they should have just stuck with their formula of we're just going to give you movies. Because if you look at what they're doing on the animated front, their animated division is putting out just killer movie after movie after movie that's got nothing to do with shit. And every single one of them is good. Every single one of them is highly fucking lauded after, and all the critics love and the fans love that shit. If they would have just done that, stuck with that in their movie thing, and Christopher Nolan, he got his Batman 3. Zack Snyder, he got his Superman 3. Let him do Superman, Man of Steel, Justice League, Batman v Superman. Let him finish that. Boom. Who's got another idea? Matt Reeves, you got an idea? Here's our sandbox. Which characters you want? Give us a fucking idea. Andy Muschietti, you got an idea for Flash? What do you got? But they could have done that. Right? And I think that that's what they were going to do, because they still allowed Matt Reeves and Todd Phillips to do Joker and Batman independently. But I think everybody got so caught up in the Snyderverse and everything having to connect that when you get people who Birds of Prey, well, I can't, I want to tell this story. They feel obligated. Well, let me put in references to Snyder's shit and make it look kind of in that universe. But it's not the story you wanted to tell.
Yeah, but you see, when you're doing shit like that, right? If that's the way you want to do it, then you would have to make, like, you could have the DC universe, but each hero would have its own universe, where Superman would be Metropolis and have his own universe. Everything is in Metropolis. Batman, Gotham, his own universe, his own shit. So if you go tell an outside story of Harley Quinn or something, you know the feeling of Gotham. So we got the feeling of Gotham in there, tell your story. Same thing with Wonder Woman and all that. But when you interconnect them, now we get to see the different universes come together, and then Moses one. Because everywhere you go to Jersey, it's a different place than the Bronx. You go to Carolina, it's different from Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? It's all those different places, different fields, different cultures. You mix together, it's cool. But when you go, all right, this has Superman, this has Batman, and then this has Batman, but this Batman completely feels different than that Batman, but our Batman is different from this Batman, and they're all together. It's like, wait a minute. Because why wouldn't you be able to just go, here goes all of Batman. This is the feel we want for Batman. Tell your story within that feeling. The same way as like everyone, they draw Batman the same. He has the same suit. He has the same gadgets. He has the same car. He may be in a different shape. He may be in, different eye color. Outfit may look different, but he has the same shit. Fit these bad guys for Batman in Batman. He does, AEW.
I get what you're saying. But now here's where I think things go awry. Marvel has done that. Where Marvel has said, you get to tell your story, but we need it in these parameters. And Marvel has lost out on good directors who come in and like, all right, I'll do this. And when they feel that they can find, they're like, well, fuck it. What's the point? You're not hiring me to tell a story. You're not hiring me to direct the movie I want to make. You're hiring me to just put together the scenes you're telling me to do. Which is why a whole bunch of things are creative differences.
No, I hear you, but the thing is, it's like you have a house. Every room in the house is different, but they still connect to the fucking house. It's like you going, I hired a painter to paint my room, and he didn't want to do it because he couldn't knock down any of the fucking walls.
Yeah, but so Matt Reeves' Batman is vastly different than Christopher Nolan's Batman.
True, but now when you have a universe of Matt Reeves' Batman, because this is what I'm saying. Imagine this. This is what I'm saying. You have the Batman movie with Twilight. You already established a universe of Gotham in that movie. You expand on that universe, right? You have Superman. If you're gonna make a different Batman, like let's say I'm gonna use Harley Quinn, but she's not gonna be a part of the Twilight Batman. She's gonna be another Batman. You have to make that universe around Harley Quinn and that Batman. And then we go, okay, which Batman is gonna intertwine with this shit? Because you said it. There's 15 comic books of Batman, and if we can withstand, this is where people's argument of there's too many of them comes in handy, because we got 4 different Batmans in the movies right now. We don't know which one is which, and we want to see one of them fight fucking Superman. And this Batman has nothing to do with any of the other fucking movies, but he's fighting Superman. This is where you be like, okay, the Ben Affleck Batman doesn't have a universe outside of Batman vs Superman, because he's in Birds of Prey, he's in the Suicide Squad, and they're 2 different universes. There's no set rules for this Batman. He's a cameo. But then we got Twilight Batman. Who's the Batman? If we had multiple Batman running around in different universes, okay, this is the Robert Pattinson's Batman. This is Ben Affleck's Batman. This is the world they're living in. When we're telling this Joker is in a different fucking Batman or different Gotham that had nothing to do with Batman. This is before Batman. Okay, all right. So which Joker are we gonna see? We want to see Joaquin Phoenix Joker and this one together. How we make that work? We make it work because of this. They have rules established in their universes.
I see what you're saying, but my question now would be, so that lends into what I was saying is, I don't think Joaquin Phoenix's Joker should interact with any of the Batman.
Yeah.
But as you just pointed out, as a fan, you're already thinking, all right, so which Batman is going to fight Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, because you know it's coming.
So then
it has to come.
So then DC felt that and went into that when they should have just went, dude, you get 3 movies. When your 3 movies are done, cool. We'll do another character. We'll do something else somewhere down the line. You got an idea? You get 3 movies. Your 3 movies are done. Move the fuck on. But instead of trying to build out a wider franchise, because that's the problem. That's the thing. If you look at if you look at Marvel, for instance, Spider-Man has its own fucking universe. X-Men have its own fucking universe. When you compare it to everybody else, Captain America has his line of comics. Like anybody else that puts on the red, white, and blue is not another Steve Rogers. It's a completely different person. And yeah, Spider-Man has Miles Morales and Ben Reilly and all. Like there are different people, but they're all literally. You could just take Spider-Man and do his whole thing forever, never touch another hero, and he's good. The X-Men could do their own thing, never touch another Marvel hero, and be good. That's what happened. What do you call it? It's you're seeing it now. It's hard to adapt. It's going to be hard to adapt the X-Men and Spider-Man fully into the MCU. That's why I think it works well that he gets to play here a little bit, but then Sony he essentially gets his own fucking movies. With Batman and Superman and all that, you have so many different retellings of it. It's nearly impossible to pick one and stick with it.
So what you're saying is, from what I'm understanding, this is what I'm gathering. A solution to the problem would be them go. You guys are gonna come up with a story, 3 to 4 movies. Get me the Justice League. Tell the story of how they got together, and then once that story's done with, you give me a Green Lantern story. 3 movies. Throw it out there. You give me Wonder Woman. Throw it out there. You give me The Flash. Throw it out there. They don't coexist with shit, but they're all stories. Which, to be honest with you, would be a good way to combat Marvel, because now you can sit here and go, I gave you Flashpoint. I gave you Crisis on Infinite Earth, and I gave you some other shit with The Flash. Had nothing to do with nothing.
The only difference, the only slight tweak I would say is, instead of the executive saying you get this, you get that, I'm talking a little bit more of who has an idea.
No,
you have an idea. Let's go.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like what they did with Star Wars. You get one movie, you get one movie, you get one movie. The only constant is Rey.
I'm actually more equating it to what they did with James Bond.
Okay, here goes your runs with this actor. Now we get another actor. Now you give me another story.
Run.
Yeah.
And the thing with James Bond is they don't. You can, if you want to stretch and do a through line, you could try to make one. But Sean Connery's run is different than Pierce Brosnan's run, different than Roger Moore's run, different than Craig's run.
See,
but everybody knows it's James Bond.
See, so now we're going down to the marketing and shit, because they told us James Gunn is giving us a DC universe, where if they would have said we're giving James Gunn X amount of movies to tell his version of the DC world, and these are the people he picked, we were like, oh shit, now we get to see James Gunn interpretation of Superman, James Gunn interpretation of this. Those movies that we just said now became obsolete, no longer obsolete.
Yeah, but they fell into the trap of Zaslav going, well, look at the sustainability Marvel's had. Because even if they've waned now, they've only started to wane now after 15 years of being kings at the box office.
Yeah.
And Zaslav is looking at that, and if I told you I can give you one guy to put all these shows on the network, on the Knucklehead network, and for the next 15 years, it's all going to interconnect and it's all going to be golden. It might wane off year 16, 17. Wouldn't you sit there and take that?
Yeah, but also, here's the thing, though. One of the highest grossing movies in DC, Dark Knight. That was a 3-run Batman movie.
Yeah, but that was before people figured out that you could do long form storytelling within multiple movies and have it somewhat successful.
True. But DC has always been, we're gonna tell you a selected story.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the formula they should have went with.
Yes, that is 100%.
Because imagine you have Batman vs Superman, episode 1, Batman and Superman Public Enemy, episode 2, and then maybe Doom's, fucking Dark Side comes down, and now it's Justice League.
Yeah.
But I think that's what they were gonna try to with the whole we're getting rid of the Snyderverse shit. But then the fans revolted. And the fans wanted the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm all for them going, what's our plan? The fans want this, but what is our plan? Fuck them. Let's put out what we want to put out. Because 90% of the time, they say they want something, they don't want it. They want something good, we have something good, throw it out there. Because when you give somebody something to patronize them, it makes it worse for everybody.
yeah. And in 1999, that strategy would have worked. But in today's day and age of X or Twitter or whatever the fuck you want to call it, you put out something, review bomb automatically.
Yeah.
They try to tank the movie on purpose.
Yeah.
They show up in theaters not to see your movie, but to see whatever the fuck the counter programming is.
Yeah. It's a lose-lose
And now it doesn't
situation.
even matter how good your movie is.
Yeah.
Because fans think that they get to control shit. Because in reality, the consumer does get to control. If we pull our money out and you don't make anything, well, now you're gonna have to listen to us.
You know what I would do then? Just to fuck with the fan. This is me living this is pie in the sky shit. This is me, no consequences. You know what I would do? I would make an epic commercial and have everybody go to see this movie day one. Yo, box office records. And then I'll run the fucking commercial, and there'll be 3 hours of me telling you motherfuckers how you ruined any chance of seeing another fucking movie from us that has anything to do with superheroes because you bitches think that you know shit. It would have been rated R. You motherfuckers don't know shit, but you gonna tell me how to do my job. Let's list the ways of how you're wrong. And then 3 hours have been fuck you. And there would have been no refunds. And on the ticket, it would have said no refund. Fuck you. You just paid me to curse you out.
I love how it's 3 hours of it too. Just like
Yeah.
But now, how do we parse out? So again, you can do that, but how do we parse out the fans who are review bombing and just trying to tank your shit versus the fans who sit up here and have legitimate gripes and like, yo, this shit is not working? Because that you are gonna also get tricked into going in there and get fucking cursed out.
No, yeah, but that's me. That's throwing shit out. That's me throwing shit into the fan, seeing where it lands. But in all honesty, that's where the whole you couldn't review bomb Wakanda Forever. That's impossible. You couldn't review bomb Black Panther, the first one, because it was like Black Panther released at 12:01 that Friday. At 12:02, 17 TV shows came out with people who saw the fucking movie and how this was the greatest black movie that was ever made. This made black people want to become better. It power to the fucking people. There's gonna be a new civil rights movement because of this fucking movie. Instantly, they said that shit. There was no review bomb in that. You can have an awesome movie and people review it and they go, no, this shit was dope. Because people will fight back like, nah, you need to see this. There was no review bomb in Endgame, no review bomb in Infinity War.
Yeah, but there was no reason to. People were let's take case in point, Captain Marvel. Even though it made $1 billion, people review bombed that movie.
Yeah.
The reviews, the critics are not actually with that movie for the most part. And all that happened before the movie came out because of the actress.
Well, because she just so happened to be a woman. How dare her? How dare you give us a superhero we want and still make her a woman?
But
she should have been a
now,
man that identified as a woman, so that way we can have our men save the day. Still call him Carol Danvers, long hair, big tits, swinging dick to prove he's a man. and let him fucking fuck Nick Fury, long dick style, prove he's a man, just so that way, God forbid, we have a fucking female superhero. People loved fucking Wonder Woman because it was the best Captain America movie we've ever seen. Best Captain America origin movie. Let's put it that way, because Winter Soldier is one of the best ones. But
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But it's still, how many people hated the fucking fact that, oh, they got a woman in there doing shit. If it wasn't for the fact that Wonder Woman was probably one of the oldest superheroes we got in the fucking comic book world, I think people would have shitted on her too.
Nah, I see what you're saying, but I think Wonder Woman differed because the star was likable, and the movie wound up being good. Coming off the back of Batman v Superman,
Yeah.
right? It came after that movie, right? Not the Justice League.
No, yeah, it came after Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah, that was the in between before we got
Well,
Justice
let's
League.
get it right. It came after Superman versus James Bond. James Bond and Iron Man fucking teamed up together and fucked up Superman.
No, let's get it correct. It came after My Mother's Also Martha.
Yeah. Word. Fucking Mission Impossible.
But I mean, it came off the back of a disappointing movie.
Yeah.
The star was likable, the character itself was likable, and it was a decent film. So I guarantee you, Captain Marvel wouldn't have been review bombed if Brie Larson was, and I don't know why this is, if she was more likable, or if they cast, despite the fact that the fans put Brie Larson in there. Everybody and their mom said Brie Larson should be Captain Marvel before she was cast. Then she was cast, and I don't know what the fuck happened.
People don't know what the fuck they want.
Exactly.
But she's
I don't
not bad
find
in the
her.
role.
I don't find a problem with her as Captain Marvel. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Unless you did the shit Ezra Miller did as a fucking human being, I don't care if you're a bitch. Like Captain Marvel. If the only thing Ezra Miller did was fucking scream at someone at a convenience store, well, maybe he's an asshole, but play the fucking Flash the right way. Like, how much shit has most of these motherfuckers did? It's just, oh, you're a dick.
Robert Downey was in jail for a
No,
while.
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're a dick, but you did the part right. Outside of the fact of you kidnapping people and coercing little kids and waving guns around and doing illegal shit, and not to mention they kill people from time to time. I'm sorry, that's a line from Find Me Guilty. Sorry, but you know what I'm saying? Like that, there should be no issue there. There should be no issue. But you don't want her to be a superhero because she's a bitch? How many fucking people are bitches in this world? You voted for one as a president. What up, bro?
What's going on, bro? Oh, man.
So back to DC self-sabotaging themselves with Black Adam. I truly believe Black Adam, with the momentum of The Rock, could have been a lot bigger than it was. I actually liked the movie first time watching it, but just because the opening came with The Rock's trying to take over DC, James Gunn's not gonna let that happen. Fuck Henry Cavill. The Rock's not getting what the fuck he wants. Oh, by the way, we ruined the fucking ending for you. Bad guy's got a dragon. You know, what was the point of watching that movie?
Yo, what? The Rock can't be told the after credit scene. Sonny cannot find out what it is because it's just instantly out there. It's like just film it with him not there. Like have him read lines and don't tell him. Just
CGI him in.
Just exactly. Just CGI him in.
Don't even have him read the lines. Just super cut his words from other parts of the film.
Because 2 movies back to back, he decided to say, "Yeah, after credit, be there." Like, okay. And now that after credit scene means nada.
Yeah.
Because he can't do the job for fucking, like, come on, man.
No, I think what ultimately happened with Shazam is
Black Adam.
Black Adam is
Well,
we
Egyptian
were told-
Shazam.
we were told that this was not supposed to be this was not supposed to be an anti-hero movie.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be something different. And then it just wound up being the Thor movie we should have got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you want to fight Superman while simultaneously trying to take his place?
I mean, for that, you should have negotiated Henry Cavill in the movie and had him fight Superman in that movie.
Yeah.
That would have made at least a little more sense, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kept
Tell
saying
him the
it.
Man in Black sent you.
Here's the thing, right? It had to remind us that he wasn't a hero while simultaneously saving a kid, befriending a kid, and taking out a fucking tyrannical faction that just came in and ruled over a country they had nothing to do with. Wow. Such a bad guy. Such
Yeah.
a piece of shit for freeing his countrymen under tyrannical rule.
Yeah.
I can't believe that jackass fucking went in. Hawkeye was right. Leave the fucking villains alone, you fucking piece of shit. Stop killing the goddamn bad guys around here.
Hawkman.
That's what I said.
You said Hawkeye.
I was trying to say Hawk guy.
Yeah, no, yeah, but that's true though.
Something with a Hulk was
Yeah,
there.
because yo, this should have weighed in. He's not a superhero, but goddamn it, am I behind him because he's killing these niggas?
Yeah. Yo,
We've been under. Yo, you did nothing. Get out of our country. He's doing something. I don't care what he's doing. He's doing something. That's like if there's garbage in the street, no one's ever picked the shit up, and someone just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna light the shit on fire." Leave him alone. He's getting rid of the garbage.
you know what happened? This is what accidentally happened, and I'm being outlandish on purpose. So I'm gonna put that disclaimer here.
Warning.
Yeah, put a warning up. This is just an outlandish pie in the sky shit. What they essentially did was they told us 50 years from now, they told us how bad Hitler was, and then somebody resurrected him, and he showed up and was kicking this minority group out of the country. But it turns out that these guys specifically were actually terrorists and actually trying to kill people in the street.
Yeah.
So the people 50 years from now are going to look at you and be like, but this motherfucker's kicking out terrorists. He was the bad guy? When was he the bad guy? He's helping us out now.
And this would have been the perfect time for him to fight Superman because, to be honest with you, Hawkman didn't give a fuck about Saskatchewan, wherever the fuck they were at.
Yeah, but that
He didn't give a fuck about them. He just cared about stopping him. Superman at least would have been like, what the fuck is going on here? This guy's dangerous, and you're behind him. Wait, there's a terrorist group here that's doing this. This ain't right for me. Why did you hide this from me, Waller?
Yeah.
There would have at least been something in Superman to be like, wait, are you the good guy? Are you doing the right thing here? Am I the fucking bad guy? Why are you? I'm you. You, me, him, everybody getting fucked up now. You know what I'm saying?
That would have been the best way to do it. Of like, all right, now we get it. Now it's like something, but no.
No.
but to go
Superman
back,
no here.
Yeah, and then you
To
get the
go
devil
back
coming
off
out
of
and
that-
he beats the shit out of the devil quick and fast and nerd.
just how funny is it? The fact that, again, take Black Adam out of it. This country is being ruled by outside forces. Amanda Waller knew about it and has a whole Justice Society, ain't do shit about it.
He didn't give a fuck.
Amanda Waller knew about it, has Superman in her back pocket. Superman ain't get called. Superman ain't hear shit. He don't hear nothing in this part of the world.
They're in the coldness
The minute-
silence.
The minute Black Adam shows up, all hands on deck.
That's when you put the goddamn button.
Yeah. And the best part is he has the same power as Shazam. Put the Hawk in there. What? Wouldn't you get the god that can do the same shit he? Why would you get a man with a hammer to fight a fucking god? Why wouldn't you get the god? Superman wasn't the first choice. If he kills you, I'm bringing in the big guns.
Yeah.
What? Bring the big guns in now.
Here's the
You don't
funny
know this
thing.
nigga?
Here's the funny thing. Let's send in the Justice Society. Okay. But you have a Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't the Suicide Squad come in? Because they wouldn't have given a shit about the fucking bad guy. They would have killed him. I don't give a shit. I'm here to stop you.
Yeah. Who you killing him? Fring. Now fight me. He's dead. Fight me now. I'll help you out.
Like the whole purpose. See, this is why interconnectivity doesn't make sense for DC. Because the entire purpose of the movie Suicide Squad was Amanda Waller needed a team, but she has the Justice Society.
Yeah, how many
At
teams
what
has
point
got?
did she abandon the Suicide Squad and put in the Justice Society?
Yeah.
Now, if they would have did it where, like, if they explained the Suicide Squad is only there to cover up Amanda Waller's fuck ups that she don't want nobody to know about, throw in the Suicide Squad because they could die. We don't give a shit. They're not.
Well, that's kind of the
This-
point. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is CIA shit. You die here, no one knows you. Fuck 'em. But real shit that the world gonna get news on, throw in the Justice League of Society. The Justice X in there. All that motherfuckers.
Justice something. We trying
Yeah,
to get
throw in the Justice.
Throw in just us.
Yeah.
Just the three of us.
Shit.
Shit. We next.
With the
fuck.
dog. But yeah,
Yo,
man.
Show into any situation, and he'll distract him long enough for us to figure out what the fuck.
Come out.
No, they to go off the whole thing here. I think they did themselves a disservice unintentionally because, again, with them telling us that Batgirl was so bad that they had to cancel it. And because of that, it seemed bouncing off of that, they went, fuck it. We need somebody to give us, we need a captain of this goddamn ship, steer us in a fucking direction. It inadvertently just went, hey, just go watch the other shit. Watch it because it's a fucking movie. Who cares about it right now?
Yeah.
And this hand, I got James Gunn. This hand, just sit in the theater for 3 hours.
Yeah. Bitch. No, but yo,
That's my wife's car.
yeah, because the same thing that happened with Black Adam, is the same shit that happened with Shazam. You cannot connect Shazam in a Henry Cavill Superman. I'm sorry. There's no way that fake bodysuit is going to fit in with real Henry Cavill. That doesn't work.
He could have always just got bigger.
Yeah, but the thing is, have you seen Shazam 1 and 2 fully? I know you've seen parts of it.
I've seen parts of part 1. I have not seen part 2 yet.
Okay, so this is my interpretation of it. Ray, you saw both of them, right? Let me know if I'm bugging. The kid that they got to play Billy Batson is more mature than the man they got to play Shazam.
That's a criticism I've heard of the film.
And that's why I don't think he fits in Superman. Because the actor that has not shown any maturity as Shazam. Even when he sacrificed himself in the second one, he didn't show much maturity.
That was the glimpse of it in itself. But I feel like other than that, yeah, I think that's the biggest thing of he's acting more like a kid when he's the adult playing Shazam now.
Yeah.
Why does the kid have more of a backbone than he does?
Yeah. That's a complaint that I've heard about it. That's why I haven't seen it yet. Because Billy Batson should be 1-for-1 with Shazam. If Billy acts a certain way when he turns it to Shazam, he's either going to be the same or on the better side of it. He never fucking reverts. Because again, the wisdom of Solomon.
You know how they got around that? In his cave where he resides, there's a pen that has all the knowledge, and he just acts as the pen and all the books. So he's supposed to read all that shit and get his wisdom that way. He never has, like, he never sits there and goes, "Wait a minute, these girls. Wait, where do I know them from?" And then pull out a book like, "Oh, here you go." Like if it's instinct. The other Shazam, the Asian Shazam dude, was running around, goes, "Oh, I heard of them before," and goes into this room no one ever seen, talks to this magical pen. He pulls out a book, goes, "Yeah, these are the women right here." You don't have Shazam's power. You have part of it. All of you are not Shazam. He's Shazam, right? Am I bugging?
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, yeah.
He has the wisdom of Solomon. You got one aspect of the shit. But they're playing the fact that he's depending too much on the older woman and them sticking together, and he's questioning himself. But it's still, there's no instinct there. There's no growth in it.
Yeah. Which you already have 2 movies. They should have at least been something.
Yeah.
So he had the books of Solomon to try to learn wisdom, the dumbbells of Hercules to try to gain strength, but he had the treadmill of Hermes to try to get faster.
Yeah.
Like, these shits are supposed to be inherent in him. I grant you that power because you're worthy to hold all this shit.
Because in the first one, he learns how to use his abilities. When he gives the powers to the other kids, they're masters of it. Like the Asian dude throws a Hadouken, making good faster than the speed of light. This girl knows how to use her shit. Everybody's good. Part 2, he's trying to lead a team, and they know their powers better than he does. Like, don't get me if you watched it as just 2 single movies, as Shazam franchises, no one else in there, they're not bad. But if you're gonna throw it in the scope of shit, if this is the Snyderverse, this shit don't fit. I don't even see him talking to the Flash. This shit don't fit.
But you know what's funny?
Even Gal Gadot showed up in the end of part 2. She seemed out of place. She seemed like she was CGI'd in there.
Well, I bet so, because why the fuck would Wonder Woman show up randomly? But
because they needed a god to bring him back to life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a thing. You gotta watch it.
But you know what's funny? To your point, where even in the comics and in most of the cartoons, Shazam does not feel necessary for the Justice League because they have Superman. Anything Shazam could do, we already got somebody who does that. And he doesn't have the fucking vulnerability of being a child. Because you know what they said that, what do you call it? Superman's plan to beat Shazam. To prevent the kid from ever saying the word. You prevent him from ever saying the word, and he's just a fucking kid.
Who's gonna break his larynx?
Yeah, that was one of the things.
If he can't speak, he can't be Shazam.
Yeah. So I can see why he wouldn't be like a choice. But if you're telling me that the Billy Batson actor acted more mature than the hero, Shazam himself, we have something wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know a person on this world that was more mature when they were younger.
True. Because there's a scene where the kid with the cane, Captain Every Power or some shit, I think that was his name. He's talking to a girl and Billy's texting him. But it's one of those like, "Yo, I know you went out last night we wasn't supposed to go and be superheroes by yourselves." Billy's texting him, he's not responding. He's talking at the lunch table, he turns around, Billy's standing there. The kid standing there, disappointed in this one. This one is afraid of that kid. We need to talk. Not once did you ever feel that when he was Shazam. When he turned into Shazam, there was none of that. There was no confidence of, I'm mad at you. We need to speak. He had no control over anybody. But when they're normal kids, he got control over all of them.
Yeah, it's almost like he lost anything he had. Like, it was like, oh, okay, it was Benjamin Button almost. It was like, as we're getting older, we're getting younger technically. It was just,
Yeah.
It was weird.
So then they are sabotaging themselves with simultaneously putting out movies that are not up to snuff, thinking that we're just gonna go watch it because we're now programmed to.
I think that's what they're banking on. Even with this, with the new, because we talked about these ones that they already released, but what they're planning on releasing, it's like they're sabotaging again because they're just like, oh, they'll watch it no matter what movie we throw out.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Joker 2 already has a built-in audience.
Yeah.
Everybody who went to go see Joker 1 is, now we haven't seen any of the trailers, but they're already assumed to be on board with Joker 2. Matt Reeves' Batman, everybody who liked that one, they're already assumed to be on board with the second one. So they can truck ahead with trying to make those. But it's gonna get really confusing really fucking fast. When there's four, like Joe said, when there's four Batman running around.
And that's like, who connects to who?
Which one is the one that which one means the most?
Yep.
Which one's the one that truly matters?
Because think about it. You have a new Marvel superhero come out, and let's say it's Nova. People are like, who the fuck is Nova? We can explain who Nova is. Okay, and we can see how he fits in the MCU. When you go, I got this guy playing Batman. Wait, what happened to the other ones? Oh no, that's a separate thing. What? So wait, is he's gonna fight Superman? But boy, is Superman in the other? That's where he got the same black daughter, but he's British now. Comes in. That's where the black daughter comes in for show. To show the guy that we use as the staple for every non-comic book movie watcher of comic book movies. That's the line of which we compare them to. So they're gonna be sitting there going, how many Batman are there? And why is the Joker singing now? That's not the Joker. I know. Wait, why is this Joker playing Black Mask and this Joker singing with Lady Goo, and then Margot Robbie's fucking the one that I know, but she's not with the Joker. And then why is this guy playing the fucking Leatherface sex demon, but they call him the Riddler? And for the love of God, why did Catwoman and Batman stop to get a glass of milk while they're looking for her best friend? I had to throw that in there.
Well, I mean, because they knew she was dead already. And there's no use crying over dead friends.
Yes. Get the milk. Does the 2019 Joker tie into anything? No, it doesn't.
It really doesn't at this point. But
and
no, they did what I've been saying that DC should have just stuck with is if somebody has a good idea for one of their characters, let them make that movie.
Yeah.
But people like Show turned around and goes, "Yo, there's 15 what? I don't know." Just turn around and be like, then you could turn around and be like, but then don't watch any of them. They're not for you. Or pick one and just go watch it.
Well, that's exactly what they have to do at this point.
Yeah.
Just pick one. You might like it.
Because not for nothing, when it comes to the MCU, we sit here and we talk about the whole story. Like, yo, the Infinity War is dope. I can't wait to see what happens after that. Yada, yada, yada. What story they're telling us now. But when it comes to DC, who's your Batman? Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, or Robert Pattinson? Well, I don't know,
Never
man.
seen
Christian
it.
Christian Bale is the guy. That's my movie, Dark Knight. I don't know. Ben Affleck did his thing in that hallway scene. Yo, Robert Pattinson, year one Batman, that shit was dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where you get those. It's a separation of it
Yeah.
because now they don't tie in anything, but people go, "This is the one I'm sticking with. This is the one I want. This is the one that's this." The Supermans.
But you're able to have that combo.
Yeah. You have that okay, there's 7 different Batmans, all in different times, but everybody this is where you get your comic book nostalgia from. The difference is though, you gotta tell us good stories with these movies. You can't have for the people. And that's Bane. Like, yo, my man did his thing, but that wasn't Bane. That wasn't a Spanish fucking refugee from where is he from? From Spain?
No, it's a fictional island.
Yeah, but you know that was born in a jail because his father was a fucking freedom fighter, and you know the story of Bane, Ray?
Vaguely.
All right, so this is the story of Bane.
Yeah.
His father and mother were freedom fighters. His
Okay.
mother got pregnant, and they left the country. But the country, the army had the baby Bane. So they charged that baby with the crimes of the mother and the father, and they threw him in jail. So Bane literally grew up in jail, and people were like, "We're gonna teach you how to defend yourself." So he became the strongest, the most agile, and the smartest person in that jail, so he could survive.
Okay.
After that, he broke out of jail and went and basically killed all the people that put him in jail, and then became a mercenary.
Okay.
He donned the mask as the luchador, whatever, that was his trademark, whatever fuck. And then they hired him to kill Batman. And because he's fucking superiorly smarter than he's supposed to be Batman's superior. So because he's Batman's superior, what he went was, I'm gonna break everybody out of Arkham Asylum. Batman went and caught every single person from Arkham Asylum. And when he got the last guy in Arkham Asylum, that's when Bane attacked him and broke his back. That's when he beat the Batman. That's the story of Bane. Not a guy that was raised by Ra's al Ghul, that was in a fucking jail that needed to be fucking climbed out of, and they broke his face, and now he needs constant medicine that we don't know where that shit comes from to talk. They gave him the venom to be stronger as an experiment, and he became addicted to the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty much what it was.
Yes.
That's Bane. And you tell that story, you can have a Bane movie.
That would actually be an interesting Bane movie.
Like a lot of these, what are the protagonists, the bad guys? That's what they are.
Antagonists.
Antagonists. A lot of these antagonists have crazy backgrounds that you get, like Dr. Doom can have his own origin story. Bane can have his own origin story. We saw a little bit of an origin story for the Joker. You know, we could have a lot of these people, even the Riddler. A lot of these people have their own origin stories, and then part 2 can face Batman.
Yeah.
We already know the Batman enough. Batman, you can literally throw him in there.
Yeah, at this point we don't need to keep seeing his parents die. We're good.
Yeah.
We know where it goes.
Yeah.
It's like Spider-Man. Don't give us another Uncle Ben die. We're good. We know how this works.
How does the luchador come into play? Cap, how does the luchador come in?
The mask is all right. So to clear things up, he's South American.
I was gonna say, isn't he technically supposed to be from Spain?
No,
out of all this?
so
Spaniard.
Santa
He's
Fresca
Spaniard.
is the island. I just looked that up. But his father's English, his mom's from South America.
Okay.
So he's not Hispanic. He's, I think, would be more Latino.
Okay.
So
So
he's
even
not,
that,
like,
yeah, 'cause
directly from Spain or anything. He's just South American.
Okay,
So
yeah.
much like me, he could be put in either category.
Gotcha.
That's the official thing. The mask is partly the luchador aesthetic, only because that's how they wanted to portray him. Because I mean, Batman's the dexterous. I mean, Batman's drawn big, but he's the quick, dexterous, dex-based fucking guy. So who do you oppose him? a big hulking wrestler
Yeah.
type dude. But essentially, the mask is just what feeds him the venom serum, because it comes into the tubes and it forms like a gas that he breathes in through the mask.
Okay.
But when they drew him, they did give him a little bit more of a wrestler aesthetic,
Yeah.
but it was to oppose
The
what
Batman.
Batman was.
Yeah. That makes sense. See, like every story I've heard of it, it's always he's Spaniard.
Yeah.
So gotcha.
Yeah, but the official thing is he's at best he's mixed.
Gotcha.
So he's like John Leguizamo.
Well, at best he's me. Where, like I said, you throw me in a room full of whites, room full of that's not technically incorrect. Room full of Spanish people is not technically incorrect.
Yeah. Like he could cut a good promo. He's supposed to be smart too, so he should be able to cut a good promo.
Come on, you think you were born in the dark? I was raised by it, molded by. That's one of the best promos.
Yeah.
That's it. That's emotion right there.
I broke your mind. I must break your body.
And if anybody's been watching the Harley Quinn cartoon, I'm gonna blow him up. You got my Starbucks wrong again.
Hey, and you know who's taking fucking cues from him? Shinsuke Nakamura. I know your secret. Your back is broke. I'll break your back again.
Is that supposed to be an Asian accent, or did you just
that was me doing the Bane Nakamura shit.
Oh, okay. So it was a mix.
you going? I need an accent that's not English or Jamaican.
Yeah, that's if Michael Cole was acting like Bane, talking like Shinsuke Nakamura.
Okay.
All right, so then in that case, that was spot on.
Yeah, because if anybody knows, Michael Cole cares about people's back. But what about the back? He loves the fucking back. He loves people's backs, boy.
Hold on, we gotta give some
You punch
context
someone in
here.
the back in the WWE, this nigga will talk about it for years.
We gotta give some context here. A few years ago, I think it was Sasha Banks and maybe against Charlotte Flair. We were watching that match, and 15 times within the first 10 minutes, like the first 5 minutes of the match, every time Sasha got hit, Michael Cole like, she's gotta be thinking about her back. What about her back? What about her back? So we just started.
He's very concerned about the back.
What about the back?
But what about the back? They moved Michael Cole to Raw so Shinsuke can fuck up Seth Rollins' back because they knew that this British dude, this Scottish dude that they had talking with Corey Graves, he wasn't cutting it.
Yo, but they still moved him to SmackDown.
Yeah, but they ain't no back happening on SmackDown.
With Michael Cole.
They ain't no back happening on SmackDown.
Oh,
they got knees and shit on SmackDown. You heard both your knees.
That's it. You just heard knees.
Because we don't know which one it is.
On Raw, you get backs.
Yep.
On SmackDown, we get knees.
That's right.
I paid back. See, that's why the pay-per-view is called Pay Back.
That's right. Shit.
We care about the back.
We the ones that don't know which knee is hurting.
Oh, who was that? What match were we watching? Came down as the left knee that was fucked up.
Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, yeah.
In the ring, her left knee was fucked up.
Then it was
She
the right
fell out
knee that
the
was
ring,
fucked up.
her right knee's fucked up. She go back in the ring, his left knee. It's her knees are situational and environmental.
Yo, you gotta hear. I believe at one point, Corey Graves tries to correct what we're all like she's limping on the wrong knee and he's still trying to correct it. I think at one point, which is hilarious.
Yeah, it was trying like, but the balance of no. I love how at one point when he doesn't know if it's a shoot or a work anymore, that he's like, we shouldn't be putting focus on this at this point because just trying to like get the camera away from the shot. But it's like Corey, if she's actually injured, they should care right now. Like
right. But this is where Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon would have come in. I know we're talking about wrestling now, but fuck you. This is the problem with DC. All right, this has to do with DC. This is where Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon would have came in and it would have fucking made it matter that she hurt her lip.
Yeah.
Bobby the Brain Heenan like, well, there goes her dreams of winning the match. Now she got to go in the back. She's gonna probably be out for a couple months. She might as well retire now. That's the problem with taking them stupid ass risks. And Gorilla Monsoon's like, well, she's the champion. Or she wants to be the champion. She's supposed to take those risks. As a wrestler, you got to do this. Anything, blah, 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 blah. They go back and forth and they talk about the fucking match. They don't talk about the goddamn sponsor. They don't talk about the next fucking match. They don't talk about fucking Batman versus Superman.
See, that's what DC should do. Worry about what they're doing right the fuck
Yep. Fuck.
now.
Yes. Fuck the back.
Like if they would have actually project by project, because they can't do like Marvel does it. There's like, okay, we're gonna do this phase and then we're doing this and then we're doing that. Like no, DC's good with one by one projects and putting effort into that.
And you know, to be honest with you, I think we're in an era now where there's so much information on YouTube and on Reddit and on the social media where it's a detriment to DC and Marvel to not use it. Because you have the Blue Beetle coming out. Why would you not team up with these Screen Crush variant, rock stars and all that other shit to go do us a favor? We're gonna sponsor you to make a video about the Blue Beetle. This is the story we want you to tell. Give everyone information about who the Blue Beetle is and what they could look forward into in this movie. Because now it's like a commercial, but now the people that we watch to learn who these people are not telling us one version of a comic book that we're not getting from the movie. Now we're getting the person from the movie. Yeah. It's like, yo, Blue Beetle. What's his name? Bobby Shmurda? Jamie Hernandez? James? No, the Blue Beetle.
Jaime Reyes.
Jaime Reyes, right? They go, Jaime. This is his origin story. This is his thing. In the comics, this is who he fights, and this is that. And the people are like, oh, that's just dope. The same way I got hyped when I heard the origin of the fucking Blue Marvel, and I want to see him on fucking TV. You can have that there.
Yes. I tell you right now, the reason that did not happen now, the writer strikes makes that illegal.
Yeah, they can't do anything to promote. That's legit.
Yeah. You can't do paid promotion during the writer strike and the actor strike.
Yeah, all of that would be considered promotion. So even if they're not the ones physically putting out the video, but if they're doing a sponsorship, they're trying to get it promoted. You can't do that. Yeah. No promotions out there. And even though most actors are still tweeting about shit. I don't think you're supposed to do that either. Yeah.
We didn't see the movie yet, bro, but next week we'll talk about it.
Yeah. By next week, we should have all seen it.
So speaking of that, for anybody who's playing the home game, as I like to say, this Sunday,
the secret word, the secret word,
$4 movie tickets are only $4 for. I don't think they're gonna do it for like IMAX or whatever the fuck. But if you want to go see a movie that you haven't seen yet, or if you want to go see a movie again, $4 movie tickets this Sunday.
Yeah.
Just do not go to the first showing of Blue Beetle because that's the showing I'm gonna go to. Go after, watch it after I fucking watch it. Leave me in my goddamn theater alone.
Let Cap enjoy his movie, enjoy his popcorn, and leave me fuck alone.
Popcorn, really?
Oh damn.
Yeah, but don't fuck up my popcorn.
There you go. Don't fuck up Toad's popcorn. Let him watch the damn movie.
And those hot dogs better be fucking ready, goddamn it.
8:30 in the goddamn morning.
Yo, I went there at fucking 2. They were like, oh, the hot dogs ain't ready. I looked at them and said, well, then fuck it then.
Dude, how many people you see order a hot dog? You're the only person I know that ever asked for a fucking hot dog in a movie theater.
My pops used to do that.
You know something? Here's the thing, though. If you offer it, make it. Have it ready. 1 or 2. I'm not asking for you to cook every single hot dog you got. Have them ready.
But how do they know you're gonna show up and they need it ready for when you get there?
Because the movie timings, yo, the movie starts at 12. How many tickets are sold? 1. We'll throw a fucking hot dog on there. Maybe he wants it.
What? They don't know you. You're the only person who ever asked for one. They don't know
The
you're
popcorn's
coming.
ready.
Huh?
The pretzel bites
Popcorn's
are ready.
ready.
Everybody asked for fucking popcorn.
First, when we went with Lay to go watch the Batman movie, which we still have to finish. Apparently, it didn't finish yet. This is like 17 hours long. He had 4 hot dogs
Damn.
and no
No, he
popcorn.
didn't.
Yes, he did.
My son had 4 hot dogs during the movie.
I don't
Yeah.
remember that at all.
He
But then
got,
again,
he got the Batman bucket with no popcorn and 4 hot dogs.
this is why I don't like going to the movie theater. It's such a personal experience for me. I don't remember what the fuck he did.
He remembers the movie. Doesn't know what else happened that day.
Yeah, I only remember my singular experience is sitting in that theater.
And that's the best part about the movies.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be. It's
Well,
supposed to be an escape of just.
Not true. The other thing I do vividly remember is Lay legitimately thinking at one point the movie had ended, and then it kept going.
Yeah, he got up and
That
like,
was
all
all
right,
of it.
that was pretty. Wait a
Yeah.
minute.
I think that was all of us. I did the same shit. I was like, oh damn, all right. So is there after credit scene? And then I see more movie. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, there's a whole movie after this.
It
What up,
went
Big
directly
Fool?
into
Yo,
part
big
two.
fool.
Yeah. Which all right, so let's go into that now. The Robert Pattinson Batman had nothing to do with the universe, but they set it off. Did that self-sabotage? Did that help that Batman, or did that make the other movies worse? Because it's like this one was a standalone, but these other ones connect to shit.
If anything, they should have been able to ride off the momentum of this, because this was a plus. I feel like, in my opinion, because I don't think I don't think it was a horrible movie. So they have something to be like, okay, this worked. This was a standalone, but it worked. So
Yeah.
now let's use that because it still falls under DC. So it's something instead of, again, we got nothing to really say we could do this. So just trust us. We got this. No, the Batman worked. That's something. Even looking at the Joker, that worked. There's some momentum to use.
I think Ray's hit it there. They should have capitalized on it.
They should have, but
But somehow, to bring it back to wrestling, because you got the 2 wrestling dudes up here, somehow they turned Zack Ryder winning the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania into a dud.
Yeah.
Because instead of capitalizing on those momentum, the momentum from those movies, they had everybody turn around going, but wait a minute, you just gave us 2 good ones. The fuck is this shit? You just showed us you could do good. What's this? Don't give us this, give us that. But make it connect to everything else. Which I've been saying since the end of fucking, what do you call it? The Infinity Saga. Interconnectivity has to fucking stop. Just make movies.
Well,
Because this is why I say it has to stop. At this point, we know if you throw an Avengers movie together, we know that these motherfuckers are in the same universe. So we'll go watch it. But how many movies have we sat here and went, this should happen? Where the fuck were the Avengers at? This should happen? Where the fuck was the Avengers at? This should happen over here. How come nobody on this side of the world is talking about it? Because for movie making and telling a specific story you want to tell, interconnectivity does not make sense on an individual character basis. To tell a Shang-Chi story, it does not make sense to connect it to the MCU. Because we're just going to sit there and be like, yo, where the fuck are the Avengers at? And that is a detriment to the fucking movie. That's the real detriment. Is when you look at the Batman and go, all right, well, if this shit's not going to connect, then I don't need to go see it. But the Batman singularly, watch it. It's good. If they make another one, that should be just as good.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter if it connects or not, but the connectivity is ruining shit. Think
But-
about it. In a vacuum, if you watched In a Vacuum, just the idea of Doctor Strange is going to get a chance to go into different multiverses, meet or speak to people who know a different version of himself. He has a young girl who can get him there, and Wanda is going to go batshit crazy to try to find her kids, and they're going to have to try to stop Wanda. That sounds like a good movie. That's the movie we got. But what's the problem? Well, 2 months prior, you just told us that Wanda heard her kids were in trouble. That never came up in the movie. That she was looking for her children who was in trouble. That never came up. Because Wanda would have never said, hey, they're in good hands, relax. If he thought that she was looking for them in danger. Then you told us this is multiverse of madness. Well, but then where's everybody else?
Yeah.
He showed up in Spider-Man and stopped Spider-Man's everybody else from coming in.
But
Where the fucks are everybody? Like,
I would argue that the best movies that were in the MCU are standalone movies that had a very little thing that the first phase we said this. The only way they interconnected was the end credits scene.
Yeah.
Wakanda Forever was a standalone movie that interconnected through one or two pieces. Through
Edward
what's
Ross.
her name? Through what's her name? Yolanda Valanda Vagina.
Yeah, Edward Ross and Valentine.
Yeah. That was the only way it interconnected. Guardians of the Galaxy. That interconnected based off of
We just know that they're part of the MCU,
yeah.
which is
That- You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like that's the beautiful part of the shit. Thor: Love and Thunder, that was a standalone movie. It was just bad. That literally went across from everything they told us in the Thor movies. If we were just watching Thor 1, 2, 3, and 4, they were like, this shouldn't be a part of the Thor quadruplets. This should have been, we rebooted Thor. That's what this was. You know what I'm saying?
But
Also, I would like to say one thing. Wachikachikiki said that in Thor 5, they need someone stronger than Hela to fight Thor. I don't know if you saw Ragnarok. They didn't fight Hela. They caused Ragnarok to destroy Hela. Thor's not on that level. They don't need someone as strong as Hela or stronger than Hela. Thor can't fight him. Stick with Hercules.
Thor gonna die.
Lakers in 5.
We just need a compilation of Toe fucking up this dude's name. That's gonna be the clip for tomorrow. Just fucking every time he says it in a different way.
But am I bugging? Am I the only one that remembers Thor Ragnarok? Or should I say Planet Hulk?
no. Which is funny because now by comparison, Thor Ragnarok, as much as I don't like that film, not that bad.
It's because of just how Love and Thunder was too.
Yo, when you see how much worse it could get,
It ain't that bad, yeah.
Yeah.
that's like turning around and going to your friend's house, and you're like, the chicken's kind of dry. There was no flavor. It was bad. And then next week you go to your other friend's house and you're like, oh, this is raw chicken. I wish I'd have had that shit from you last week.
At least it was cooked. It's like,
Right,
it
shit.
was dry. But at least I won't get salmonella. Like,
Word.
But yeah, I don't think DC, to tie back in here, I don't think DC's gonna
But
get right until we see what the plan is.
yeah.
And we see the first actual. Now, when I say the first actual movie, I'm gonna say Superman, because Creature Commandos, I don't give a fuck. Good, I don't care if it's good or bad.
We don't know who they
That's
are.
an obscure property. That's not gonna mean shit to anybody.
Yeah.
Themyscira, that's not gonna mean shit to anybody. The Amanda Waller show, not gonna mean shit to anybody. whether it's good or bad or whatever, it all hinges on his Superman. If his Superman's good, then we'll let Themyscira, Creature Commandos, Amanda Waller, we'll let them rock. And then we'll see what he does with his Batman Brave and Bold. If his Superman's bad, he's in a world of trouble.
Yeah, he's
I was
in
gonna.
Warlord.
I feel like even if they're good though, those are the only two that's like those have to be good. Because if not, no matter, it's like he could have a 65, you ain't passing.
No, yeah.
This is your make it or break it moment.
Yeah, because listen, we have so many of them. And the fact that he's making another universe is what's hinged on this. If he's making a Superman movie, oh, we can't wait to see that. But he's making a universe. There's a lot riding on this. Because this universe here, if you think about it, nothing interconnects. Not all of these movies are standalone movies that are supposed to interconnect just for the fact that they say DC in the beginning of them.
Yeah.
Nothing interconnects. And then from what I'm hearing from The Flash, they interconnected the wrong movies. They interconnected every single Batman, from George Clooney to Adam West to all these other people. Yeah. You had all the Batmans that had nothing to do with any of the Batmans in this movie. You interconnected that shit. Then you got a Superwoman, that doesn't have anything to do with Superman. They didn't connect any of the Supermen in this. Like, The Flash was a standalone movie that was supposed to reboot the entire Snyderverse that had no Snyderverse in it.
Yeah.
That's another it's like, why would I watch this? This had no, like, I paid for a room in a fully booked hotel. Give me my money back.
So Doctor Strange had the multiverse with a little bit of madness. Flash had the madness with a little bit of the multiverse.
The Flash had multiverse with none of the Snyderverse. Because it should have been Snyderverse of madness. That shit was just George Clooney of madness. Batman of madness, pretty much. Because in all honesty, I wanted to see Tom Cruise as Iron Man more than I want to see fucking George Clooney as Batman, or I keep forgetting this fucking, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Michael Keaton as Batman. It's like, it was cool to see it in the coming attraction, but when you hear that that's most of the movie.
And it was a letdown though. The trailer made it look better than it was in the movie. That's when it's a real letdown. Yeah. The trailer felt like, okay, that reminds me of the Keaton of old. Then you watch and it's like, he phoned it in like a motherfucker. So
yeah.
It's that's
and also knowing the story, Thomas Wayne should have been somewhere.
Yeah.
Thomas Wayne.
It didn't feel like somewhere. They were doing the story they were doing. That's the worst part.
Yeah. So and what is Harley Quinn's counterpart in the Flashpoint? Is it Echo Pin Drop?
Oh fuck. Shit. I'm gonna get confused because I know Punchline is her replacement, but that's not her.
Pinball.
Where's the Quan at?
I don't know. That motherfucker, he was on YouTube.
Yo, facts. We need Taquan to give us the actual facts here. Taquan, where you at?
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, where's that at?
No.
You could have had Batman 2000 in. Like, you literally had an open book to put whoever you wanted in this.
Especially if this is the end. So it's like, none of this would have been like, oh, but what are they going to do now? It's like, hey, this is your one shot to do anything crazy in there. Legit, the line. You want to get nuts? This is where you get nuts. Let's fucking go.
And they play conservative.
But I hope, and this is the one thing. DC now needs to be conservative going into this new era. Don't try to be Marvel right now. Don't jump the gun on this. Pun intended there. Let fucking James just build something here. Do what WWE did with fucking the Bloodline. Slow build so people care. Now
Yeah.
it's 3 years going and we still care. That's what he needs to do because you look at the DC how it's been. It's years and years going, and we do not give one shit about it.
Yeah.
We care about the animated movies because that's fucking amazing, but the actual DCU, whatever it is right now, there's nothing to save it. So take your time, James Gunn. Take your time.
At this point, that's the only way you're gonna get longevity out of it.
Yeah.
You have to go Superman 1, 2, and 3, Batman 1, 2, and 3, Wonder Woman 1, 2, throw a Green Lantern in there, and then let's throw.
They're doing Wonder Woman 3, 4, and 5.
No, but you know what I'm saying,
That's
like,
another
and then
thing
throw in
that's
there.
confusing. That's gonna shoot them in the foot. We got rid of Henry Cavill, but we're keeping Gal Gadot.
Also, that's confirmed. She's staying.
Yeah.
No matter what she's saying.
Well, she's getting at least Wonder Woman 3. They're in the works to do Wonder Woman 3 at the
Okay.
very least.
Okay.
Which I think, if I was saying this, I think maybe not last week, but 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
that if you do this correctly and market it right, you have DC films, Matt Reeves Batman, Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips Joker. You have James Gunn's DCEU, which is his main line set of movies. Then you do the Elseworlds, where you have Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, but then you could bring back Henry Cavill to be in that, or Batman to be in that, and you market it as James Gunn has his vision. We still have we still have other movies for people who don't want to read the mainline shit. And then we're finishing out Gal Gadot and whatever the Snyderverse shit is. We're going to give a proper finish to those characters. And then you can have all three and it could work. But you just gotta properly promote it. And you gotta properly set everything in its place.
And you have to take each movie one at a time.
Yeah. That's going to be the biggest thing. That's going to be the test to see a year from now when we are talking about, okay, so here we are. Did they take their time? Are we at a point where, well, we have 57 movies and they all tanked? Like, they could take their time, legit.
But now,
we don't need major production. Give us a random show in there to at least satisfy the market. But take your time instead of just, here you go.
But now, I think we have to, in today's day and age, we have to now reconsider what an actual tanking movie looks like.
Sure.
Because, and I'll give you a perfect example. Elemental looks like that movie tanked. It's one of the worst grossing movies domestically that Pixar has put out.
Okay.
But worldwide, it now just passed Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse. So worldwide, it did financially better than this last Spider-Man cartoon,
which is being grossed at one of the best.
Yeah. So I mean, we got to start now looking at, did a movie fail or did a movie bomb because its budget was too big and there was no way for it to realistically. So like, did this movie bomb because it was a bad movie or because the budget was too big and it was unrealistic in the amount of money it was going to make back in the theatrical window for this to turn a profit?
Yeah.
Because this movie is really fucking good.
It is. It's Dungeons and Dragons for everybody that's listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and everybody else.
I keep forgetting that there's Just an audio.
There's an audio, yeah.
Yeah, there's an audio version of this.
But
No, but
yeah,
it
Like
might.
this compared to like Indiana Jones. Like, did Indiana Jones fail because the budget was too big, or did it fail because it just wasn't a good movie?
yeah,
So that's a future now in which we got to
Yeah.
now contemplate
and
failure.
and me, I'm always been. I don't care how much money it make. If the movie suck, the movie suck. Or if the movie good, the movie's good. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like it tanked because that shit was horrible.
no.
Where
Well, that's the thing too. It's I feel like for us at least, tanking is also how is the reception of it. If it's just negative all around, and then that's also just not. It's for morale wise,
yeah,
it doesn't work. Because then that's just going to be now. What do they base off? Where are they going from here? And are they able to pick back up the fandom?
and also the thing is like I feel comic book movies in particular,
Yeah,
they have to have the box office money and all that, but also the cult classic treatment also. Because no one was going to see Black Widow in the movies.
yeah.
Everyone watched that shit on Disney Plus
Majority
when
did,
when it's free. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to know the numbers of when you're able to watch this movie on HBO Max. How many people saw Shazam 2 on HBO Max as opposed to the movie theaters?
Yeah.
Because those are numbers we don't get to see.
Now
Those numbers
probably
we don't
give us
talk
a
about.
better.
They don't even really report them, I don't think.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Because there's a difference in that. Because like, yo, I'm not the type of person that like I only go to the movies for X, Y, and Z. I'm not wasting my money to go see Shazam 2. But when it comes on HBO Max or the Max, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
See, me particularly, I love going to the movies. So if I have a The Flash was the only movie I was not going to see for my own personal reasons. Every other movie I'd be interested in seeing. If I had the time, I would have watched Oppenheimer. You know what I'm saying? Because that's I just like to go to movies. But there's people that pick and choose. We only go to the movies for X, like I said, X, Y, and Z. I saw Transformers twice. I went to the movies to watch the Ghostbusters movie that no one knew about. I saw Buzz Lightyear in the movies. I love the movies. So I'm gonna go see it. But also, when it comes out on Disney Plus or when it comes out on one of these services that we got, I'm gonna watch that shit on there too.
Facts. Gotcha.
What up, show?
Yo, show, where the hell you at, bro? We're about to get off.
He thinks showing in the chat means that he made it to the show. But you know, so that's
But
enough.
no, that
I got a little
also-
bit of numbers for what you were talking about.
All right.
okay.
So according to what I'm reading here, Black Widow earned an additional $67 million worldwide via Disney Plus,
Okay.
and boosted Disney Plus to about 110 subscribers worldwide.
110?
Million.
Okay, I was about to say only
was like-
110 people bought Disney Plus for Black Widow. Jesus, that's a bomb. That bomb. I'm sorry.
I was like,
for
yo, how much is
comparison-
Disney Plus? That it's 67,000.
Yeah, for comparison, Mulan did 90 million via Disney Plus Premier Access, but only around 60.5 million subscribers. And then
Is it?
Jungle Cruise earned 30 mil and only had about what? Oh, I didn't even say the subscriber base for that.
Well, I probably didn't do that. It's
Yeah.
it was one of those I was just like, we're just gonna put it on there. It wasn't I think a big release either.
But I think that one had a fuller release in the theater.
I think so as well. Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Wasn't
I
it like 2 weeks later that they put it on? I feel like.
think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
What was that movie where they were in another like dimension that was it was the animated movie where the guy was looking for his father was a traveler. They were
Oh, Strange World?
Yeah, I went to the movies to watch that. I just want to throw that in there. It's just like I legit would watch a movie, any movie that's in it. But anyway, so like that's what I'm talking about. Like those that helped. 110 million subscribers for Black Widow.
Yeah,
You're not
I
getting
definitely-
110 million people to go watch that movie.
Yeah, that boosts it up, and that at least gives you something of like,
Yeah.
okay. So, but again, that's something where that's a built-in fan base that's willing to do something like that. DC needs something like that now. They need to grow that back, gain that
Yeah.
trust back. Because Marvel, as much as Marvel could flop, Marvel could tank, Marvel could do this, Marvel could do that, people will still come back for the chance of, well, we know what Marvel can do. Maybe it could do it again.
And
DC
also,
hasn't given
yeah.
something like that.
And also, Marvel isn't doing every time it gets a chance to make a movie, Batman and Superman. The
Yeah.
DC is doing a lot of Batman and Superman. How
Well-
many times have I mentioned Green Lantern
True.
in these podcasts? They didn't make no other Green Lantern movie. Like, at this point, where the fuck is Booster Gold? Like, like, get people in here that they may not be well known, but their characters could be well liked.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping from Blue Beetle, that at least we get some mention of it. But
Yeah.
we'll wait and see this weekend.
We'll see.
We're reaching the end of this, and I can see the fatigue in Ray's eyes.
Oh, I've been like that for the last half hour.
Oh,
I'm
I
surprised
seen
I made it.
that. This is why we need the dog.
I got some numbers since we're talking about DC. I got some numbers for DC.
All right.
So James Gunn's Suicide Squad on HBO Max registered 4.7 million households through its first 3 weekends released on HBO Max.
Okay.
In comparison, Wonder Woman did 3.9 million households, and Zack Snyder's Justice League 4-day extravaganza only did 3.2 million.
People didn't have the 7 hours to watch that shit.
Yeah.
Holy
Which
shit,
you would think,
Mortal
though,
Kombat
it should
did
be hard.
5.5 million.
And Mortal Kombat did better than every other one.
But I mean, that was a more highly anticipated.
Yeah, that's true.
It was Mortal Kombat. We all thought it was going to be.
And I don't give a shit what anybody says. That opening fucking scene with Hanzo and Bi-Han was fucking dope.
Yeah.
That was, but then it just went downhill from there.
Well, that's because you pick a guy. I don't know why you think the best guy for us to follow in your journey. This is how I know Vince McMahon wrote Mortal Kombat 1. Because the guy that you want us to follow in your journey of this movie is the dude who can't win a fucking fight.
Yeah.
A failed mixed martial artist.
He's the guy who you want us to see how he beat Goro. He literally had to have body armor as his special ability. I got body armor and some sticks.
Yeah. He's big boss man. You know what the crazy shit is? His body turned to gold. Gold is a relatively soft metal.
And it dented when fucking Goro hit him.
Yeah, so there's no point for that. But there was some cool shit in it. Some Kung Lao doing his move and all that. Some cool shit in it. But that's another one. You went chasing waterfalls.
No, you know that movie was like hanging out with the girl who's fucking gorgeous, great body, shit conversationalist.
Yeah.
And you're like, at certain points, you're like, damn, I can't believe I'm hanging around with her. But for the majority, you're like, oh, this bitch, we got nothing to fuck talk about here.
Yeah,
I can only look at you, but so much.
I was gonna say then she eventually just be like, all right, at least there's something though. Yeah, this combo though. It's just.
Oh yeah. Mortal Kombat was a movie about a tournament that never took place, that ended before it started.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat. To go off of what you said, it's literally the movie before the tournament that gets resolved by characters enacting the way they would, or acting in the way they would via the
there
tournament.
was a tournament, yeah.
I'm gonna go fight him one-on-one in a fucking weird level. You go fight him one-on-one, and we're gonna end this shit. Only
We're
for
not
them
gonna
to
have a
sound
tournament.
like, well, the tournament starts now, motherfucker.
And
What?
at least they killed Goro before anything.
Yeah, we killed Goro, we killed Renko, we killed Melina. Who else
We
we
killed
killed? We
Kung
killed
Lao.
Cabal.
Yeah.
We killed the bitch with the fucking wings. Who you got left, Outworld?
Scorpion.
Scorpion's on our side.
Reptile.
Reptile's dead. They killed Reptile.
Silac.
The fucking robot ninjas.
Killed everybody.
That'd be like if they killed. That'd be like if they killed Thanos in the end credit scene of the Avengers, and then went, "Now we do the Infinity Saga." What?
How? He killed the motherfucker. Oh, but this, you know what? This is also, we could equate it back to DC though, shooting themselves in the foot with a lot of this. That they went overboard too quick, and then it's like, now what do you do? And now you have to try to retract. Corrego missing. And on that note, Pete, I'm too tired to give a response right now.
Come
Yo,
on,
but
man. You
yo.
can't. You got to leave Ray alone. He's the only ray of sunshine we getting here.
Yo, but
Thank you,
but
Kat.
not for nothing. If Mortal Kombat was tournament number 9, Kung Lao's the guy that they picked just to save us. He dies at the end. Outworld wins. There's one more tournament. Now the second Mortal Kombat is where you get Johnny Cage, Liu Kang, all these other fucking people. It's like, you are last hope. You are last hope. We need you.
Yeah.
Then let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but not Pete. But I'm looking forward to the game though. The reset should be
Yo,
cool.
Have you been watching the clips?
I've been seeing clips. Yeah, I'm looking
Dude,
forward to
this
it.
game looks like it's gonna be amazeballs.
Did you play the beta or not yet?
Oh yeah,
Yo,
I'm looking
that
forward
shit
to it.
looks crazy.
I'm looking
I
forward
think
to
the beta's done already, but
it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. This
Yeah,
is gonna
dude.
be.
I tell you right now, this is a lot more difficult than the Mortal Kombat I'm used to. Like now,
Shit.
playing the beta, I'm like, oh shit, I actually I gotta fully learn moves now. I can't just go up. I think it used to be this. Like,
legit. I was like, okay, I know my combo. At least it's like this. Now it's like, no. Now we gotta fucking remember everything. Jesus. But I'm looking forward to the story. That's always my favorite with MK.
you want Ray to be like Goro from MK1? You want him? Wait, which MK1? The one in 1995, or the one where he chased down a mom and her kid?
He wants to get punched in the nuts. That's what it is.
I'd rather not know the answer, but show you're not here, so how you gonna be the ray of sunshine?
I'll tell you right now, man. If you break any one of my glasses, you're going over the cliff.
Word. This is the part you fall down.
Okay.
The one where Cage punches him in the nuts. Hey,
Why did I get punched in the nuts?
Yo,
Damn,
so-
man.
yo, we need the
So
dog
Ray.
and for you to get punched in the nuts while going through a table.
Next
Well,
time you're
I'll
at
go
a
and do
wrestling event, we just got to get a video of you continuously just slamming random people on the ground.
And then I just get punched in the nuts.
Those are $600 glasses, asshole. Shit.
Yo, Pete.
Hey,
damn.
Rayton's the man. Baraka is bullshit, but Rayton's the goddamn man.
Word. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen,
Hey, we got through the majority of time sticking to actually speaking about DC.
Yep.
no thanks to fucking Ray.
Damn.
We
That
somehow
Barry
connected.
Horowitz
it
pat
all.
on the back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nah.
just give us one of those. Just fucking.
I pat myself on the neck because I can't reach my back.
Yeah.
Like a
But
big
thank
head
you
and
all
little
for
arms.
watching. I'll buy Red Kung Lao.
Yo,
Yeah.
that'd be
Yo,
dope.
I'll take it. I'll wear it on stream when I play MK1.
That's it.
But on that note,
Yes, it's your friendly neighborhood knuckleheads signing out. Come back tomorrow for some sports. Peace, everybody.